Amy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo shower use for adults only.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. For years, I've been telling you about refinancing, new home loans, all the great stuff that the Lund Mortgage Team can help you with from start to finish. Now, things have gotten a little crazy, right? The rates are bouncing all over the place. Now they're officially higher than they've been in a long time. And now more than ever, I think it's important to have a mortgage professional that has been there, done that. Any Yahoo can sell you a mortgage when it's 2.75%. Those people are going away. The real professionals are the ones that are staying in business and helping their clients through this kind of tough time out there as far as mortgage rates are concerned. Those people are the Lund Mortgage Team. Matt Oliver, Lisa Lund, they've owned this team for a long time, over 2 decades in the Valley. They are the best in the business, and they will walk you through the process, whether it's refinancing now or probably more importantly, a new home loan. Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. Call today, 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. or online, lundmortgage.com.
Steve Jurich here. After working in financial services for over 20 years, I finally confirmed what investors really want, including me. And it's simple. All they're asking for is 20% annual return with no risk and 100% liquidity. Here's the problem. A money market is safe and liquid, but offers almost zero yield. Mutual funds and ETFs are liquid with upside potential, but aren't safe. A carefully selected next-generation index annuity through IQ Wealth may offer 10% ample liquidity, principal protection, and a lifetime income yield potentially double to triple that of quality bonds. By yielding more income using fewer dollars, our system allocates more money for you for capital growth. It's a winning combination.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now, 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the claims paying ability of the insurer, so compare with Steve. 480-902-3333. Call Steve now.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go. This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. All right, people, settle down because it's time. For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and Ralph from Harmon Solar is joining us. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So, hey, how about them Lakers, man?
What about them?
Ain't they something? Doing great, pal. Man, it's a good thing you won the championship this year because it's all downhill from there. Holy cow. Boy, the fortunes have switched. How the tables have turntabled on you. And the Suns are doing pretty good. Not last night. The Clippers just never, ever, ever gave up the lead, but at least the Suns showed some life and got it with a 9. But yeah, I mean, listen, the same problems with the Suns still exist, but at least we're not the Lakers. That's the thing I think that we can take with us today. At least we're not the Lakers.
What's great about last night for the Suns is they lost to an LA team. So there you go.
So that's it. So now the Clippers have been your lifelong team?
No, it's just another LA team that beat the Phoenix Suns.
That's another super team that should be beating people, and they finally figured their crap out just recently. So Your super team is old. Our super team is broken. Their super team kind of working.
Which is weird because they're the broken ones usually. Between Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they almost never play.
You know, I listened to a lot of Clippers basketball, being at the place in Palm Springs I was at was the home of the Clippers. I was there when the racist said some stuff to his little girlfriend there. And then I got to go through that, and I heard some good basketball. I heard some bad basketball. Went to the stadium, watched them play the Warriors. You know, the Clippers, you know, they're kind of a underdog team always. They're the little brother to the Lakers always. Mm-hmm. So, man, they have tried and they have tried, and it seems like, okay, they're like, we're really trying now. And like for 5 minutes, we thought, yeah, that's a Clipper thing that Harden is going to be there. Sure, that's good. That'll be great. But now it's starting to actually click, starting to actually work. Clippers shot 55% from the field, 53% from 3-point range. It was ridiculous. They couldn't miss. And Devin Booker did his Devin Booker thing, but it wasn't enough. 35 points. Kevin Durant wasn't there. Bradley Beal, he had 21 points. Bol, he did his Bol thing, but man, 131 to 122, and they had 70 points in the first half. That is just crazy offense or ridiculously bad Suns defense.
It's crazy offense, and then ridiculously bad Suns turnovers. They had 26 points last night on 16 turnovers by the Suns. And honestly, the worst stat for the Suns has been turnovers this entire year. They do not take care of the basketball.
I saw that, and I thought at least it wasn't over 20 like it has been.
Yeah, but they're averaging 16. So that's their average. And that's putting them in the 20s in the league in terms of ranking. That they're one of the, worst turnover teams in the league. So that's when a team is shooting as well as the Clippers are, and then you turn the ball over a ton. The Clippers are one of those teams where, yeah, we could go for layups and dunks on a fast break, but we got enough guys that can shoot. We'll try those. And it works for them. It works for them very well.
So the 100th straight sellout crowd, it showed up last night, and they got to see some exciting basketball, but not a W. So, all right, that's fine. Whatever. At least we're not the Lakers. That we should just get some t-shirts that says, least we're not the Lakers.
That's hilarious.
At least we're not the Lakers.
All
2 L's on there.
And you guys suck. I love it.
Well, this is
pot calling kettle. What?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this
all the money you spent.
But all the titles we have. But I mean, you guys spend all this money. Oh, we're going to be so good
this year. You have the participation trophy.
Okay, so for me, when I said I thought the Suns were going to be competitive this year, I meant to say they can compete for a title. I am actually not ending the season at 18-16 because I know there are more games after this. And I didn't think it was going to be this, bumpy free road on the way to a team that's actualized. I've seen this happen too many times. You get a star from here, you get a star from here, you try and get them to gel. You need time. I think
you're right. You said they were going to compete for a title. They were competing for the in-season tournament title.
They didn't even try.
And they're done. So there we go.
Well, the Lakers and the Pacers were the only teams competing for the in-season tournament title.
Was there competing.
They just were playing good enough basketball to qualify.
You will not win the championship this year, Ralph.
And
Lakers will not win the championship. In fact, all you've got to give yourself a hug is that horrible in-season tournament thing.
Just enjoy their banner that doesn't mean anything. What do you want? You want us to want it as bad as LeBron did, and nobody does.
Only one team has it, and I guess it's us. So I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, only one team has that sloped forehead.
It's useless. You just played 3 regular season games, one of which that didn't actually count towards your record or your stats or anything.
I wouldn't call it $500,000 useless.
I mean, sure, it's not useless, but it doesn't help me as a person watching the teams. Well,
that's true.
Last night they were talking to LeBron, and they walked over and they're talking to LeBron, and he's sitting there, going through his post-game thing where he's sitting in front of his locker. He's got his shirt off. He's kind of toweling off, and he starts just brushing his hair really hard like this. And I look at him, I was just like, oh my God. And somebody actually posted up this. They said, that is like mowing dead grass. What is he doing? just sitting there brushing nothing aggressively. I just couldn't understand it.
It's disappearing.
I think
there's hair there.
He's on the spectrum, and that's a tick.
Wow.
No,
that's what I think.
No, that's called what hair he has left You gotta have look. You
It's
gotta have
helping it
you gotta have
fall
you
out.
gotta have the waves there, and you gotta brush it.
Waves.
I'm just telling you, that's what is.
You
That's
mean
what's.
clumps? Because there's nothing there, man.
It's disappearing, but there's hair there. Like
Disappeared.
when you say nothing, we're talking about like Jordan had nothing. LeBron has hair.
Jordan at least knew enough time to shave.
Yeah, look, I think that if it starts going back, there's a certain range, and you got to figure out for yourself where that is, where you just decide it's all coming off. It's all coming off.
We're both thinking about that right now too, and you know it.
What's that?
Me and you are deciding that range. When does it all come off? Because it's coming off on its own. When does it all come off?
I don't know.
Come
I
on.
still got plenty.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Not
Yeah, I'll show you. Look, look at this. I still got plenty. It's just I don't like to comb. I don't like to comb my hair, so I wear a hat.
You're one of those comb over guys.
It's not comb over. It's just long on top.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Look, comb it over.
Well, which way do you want it? That way?
I mean, you got, this is just, it's going. So
There ain't no comb over there. Just a bunch of messy hair. That's all. I just seriously, I learned a long time ago doing a morning show. It's like, man, I get up early, and if I spend no time, combing my hair or getting ready, I get extra time to sleep. And so then after that, nobody ever asked me. Nobody ever said, "Hey, maybe don't wear a hat today." I'm like, okay. Hey, so professionally, if I ever had a boss say, maybe you don't wear a hat today. Okay. And so I just kept on wearing the hat because it's just easier. My wife needs me to. I comb my hair, I go out and we do things. But I see no reason to now. And so I have way more hair than LeBron. You have way more hair than LeBron.
I mean, mine's disappearing little by little, but yeah.
Mine is worse. A toupee would look so much better. I wish it would all go. I wish it would all just fall right out. Then I could do whatever I want to do. Just slap something on there.
I wish I had Keon's hair.
Everybody wishes they had
I think I would
Keon's
look
hair.
good with those dreads, personally.
It's hard to imagine, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like a
Dude,
cracker with dreads. I think it would look good.
If you had Keon's dreads, you'd be a Springer guest. That's all you'd look like. You'd look like
a Springer guest.
Yeah. He looks amazing with that. People will be like, what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let me speak to all my white friends out there. Knock it off with the dreadlocks. Okay. It doesn't look good on us. Okay. It does not look good on us. It looks, you know what it looks like? It looks homeless. It looks jobless. It looks like a cool choice for Keon because Keon could do a lot of different things with his hair if he wanted to, and he'd look great doing it. But white people, stop it. Because all that hair tells me is there's a tilt-a-whirl somewhere that needs an operator.
Braids started with the Nordic people. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, the Vikings.
The first ones to wear them. I mean,
braid is one thing. A dread is a different.
I mean, I think it's old, but I don't think it's started there.
And
in large part because that's the only way you can really preserve hair of a certain texture.
True.
Is braiding it. It is Nordic people did it on their own without coming into contact with anybody, but I wouldn't say that it started there. I think it's just a
and even then the Vikings, that's a nice it's a nice little braid little thing that they do there. Not the same as dude from the trailer park who just doesn't want to wash.
Yeah, I can wash this. This does not.
One is the choice.
Washing
the other
it
is mange.
Washing it is part of the process of making this happen. If you have to be unhygienic to make it happen, just consider what it smells like. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The one time I wore dreads was, and I did wear them.
Never. The one time,
you liar!
I enjoy this story already.
It was actually, I think, the Dodgers. I can't remember the player that was on the Dodgers. Number 99. What was his name? Hey, they wore dreads. Gosh, I can't remember his name, but I used to wear his.
Darryl Strawberry?
No.
He always had
number 99. It was Ramirez or Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, it was Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, so he used to have this thing for the Dodgers where they had this this little do rag that you wore and the air came out. I used to wear it to the Dodger games.
Yeah, like fake ones.
Yeah, it was fake, but it looked good.
I'm sure.
So I'll find a picture. I'll find a picture and send
I'm sure all your friends told you it did.
They didn't.
No, it looks great, Ralph. Wear that.
Everybody at Dodger Stadium wore it. It was the thing.
Pickle D says a white dude with dreads. That tells me he needs a deodorant stick for Christmas. Walter Mellon says, did Keon just drop a heater of a joke about LeBron's hair with the waves, like waving goodbye?
No, just that's what he's trying to go for. I'm just explaining why he's brushing it so damn much.
To me,
as opposed to the Kevin Durant, Kevin just gave up.
It looks angry when LeBron does it.
Well,
he looked angry.
He's forcing.
You've seen the video? He's like, like
that. That's the reason why LeBron should let it go. His hair does not want to cooperate anymore. It's tired. Just let the rest of them that are hanging on for dear life. Just let them go too.
His head looks like a field you forgot to move the sheep from. You know, just.
Wow.
There's a little bit there, here and there, but man, you should have moved those sheep a lot sooner than this. All right. So other weird things that happened last night beyond, the Suns or the Lakers, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They got to figure out, don't they have numbers on jerseys? Because evidently officials needed 10 minutes to sort out confusion because the Thunder have two players named Jalen Williams. One of them spells it slightly different. There's Jalen Williams. Then there's Jaylin Williams. One's a big man, and the other one's a wing. And let me just tell you, it's just silly. It's silly that you can't figure numbers. The players have numbers, right?
Yes.
So they got the foul count wrong. And so, of course, the coaches are like, whoa. You got my big man getting close to foul trouble. He only has 2, not 3. And it took them 12 minutes to figure out exactly what went wrong because their scorebook didn't match up with the other scorebook. And it was just a mess. So for 12 minutes, you had guys just sort of standing around, just kicking rocks, waiting for something to happen. Jalen Williams.
Wow. Usually what they do is
big J, little J. You can't sort this out.
Yeah, or what they used to do on the jerseys, where if somebody's the first person whose name has a different letter, you just go with the first name up until that point, period, Williams. And then the other guy just gets to be Williams. No initial on the back of the jersey. Like I've seen teams that have this problem before. You just one guy gets the initial, the other guy doesn't.
I've had nothing to do with it, and I had a better idea. Big Jalen, little Jalen. And then after that, it makes it easier. But no, your idea is fine. I'm sure Ralph could come up with an idea. It just seems like we've all figured out an idea pretty quick. But for some reason, the NBA officials stymied by it. Couldn't figure it out. Never going to figure it out. Just standing around waiting until somebody came over and helped them out. In the end, they both finished with 4 fouls. So, but still, it just for 12 minutes, a game was stopped because they couldn't quite figure it out. That is just, to me, is very sad.
Very sad and very odd because, well, maybe not that odd when you consider some of the calls that have been made this season.
Well, nobody's worse than what is the ranking on bad officiating? Does it go football, baseball, basketball, hockey? I mean, hockey is usually pretty well done. So let's just leave them out of this. But what's the ranking of the worst? I say football, baseball, basketball. What do you say?
I would flip-flop basketball and baseball.
Really?
Personally.
You think there's more bad calls in basketball than baseball?
Yeah. Well, more stuff that they don't call, that they should call, like carrying, traveling.
Yeah.
Things that you're not supposed to be able to
LeBron
do.
Is in.
It's just, I mean, it's not helping. But yeah, I just think that a lot of the NBA stuff, it's that if you watch, if NBA fans tell you what's the problem with officiating, it's the stuff that doesn't get called that just will blow your mind, that they should call on every level, and they do until you get to the NBA. But maybe that's my personal bias. I watch a lot of basketball.
What do you think, Ralph?
I think it's basketball, football, baseball.
Seriously, you think basketball is worse officiated than football?
I think it's horrendously officiated.
Did you see the Lions thing the other day?
I did. No, that's why football is second, but I think basketball is horrendously officiated. I think football is bad.
Do you think it's the no calls like Keon is saying?
That's a no call issue. There's a ton of no calls. And then there's a ton of, if you're an elite player in basketball, anytime you drive the lane, there's a foul.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't get touched.
Superstar fouls are a thing.
And that's ridiculous.
And then, of course, there's just the stuff where like guys like James Harden, and I'm not blaming James for this. He's the one that's figured out how to manipulate the refs, but they know how to throw their body at defenders in a way that they get the calls. And if you're told as a defender, okay, I've got to keep my verticality. My arms have to go straight up and they can't come down at all, even when somebody makes contact with me. And even then, there are foul calls still happening against me. Like, I don't know what players are supposed to do. Yeah. And for me, I love defense. I love defense when it's in the NBA. And I haven't really seen good defense for like 5 or 6 years because they keep tweaking the rules to make it harder to play defense.
Yeah, well, with the NBA, last night the Suns were chirping at the refs pretty bad, and it was sad because I hate that. There's a point where you're like, okay, something doesn't go your way, you say something, you move on. If it gets real bad, let your coach do the yelling. Just go out there and play the game. You got your guys are on the court/field, whatever, longer than in any other sport, so you have a chance to overcome bad calls. It's a war of attrition. The score isn't 21-7. The score is in the 100 to the 100. So no matter what happens, I hated that with Chris Paul when he was on the Clippers, and I hate that now that they're just sitting there griping at the refs. You could even be right, but just shut up, grab the ball, go down there and play the damn game. Let the coach do the screaming. I'm getting tired of seeing these guys, just looking whiny.
During a timeout, during a TV timeout, wander over to the officials and say, what were you thinking here? Just, or this guy's fouling me and you're not calling it. There's no reason for while the play is still happening.
They're not going to stop. Wait, stop, everybody. He's right. Guy who's just complaining and whining. Yeah, listen, we're going to do a do-over. My bad.
Never happened. And it will never happen.
I think the Suns are one of the worst teams in the NBA at doing that. Devin Booker is one of the worst players in the NBA at complaining.
Devin Booker is. Luka Doncic is.
Everything.
LeBron is. Like,
LeBron is too.
There are plenty of guys in the league that are.
But if you're top 5, Booker and LeBron are right there.
Well, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul is. Yeah.
I don't know if he's still doing that now, but he was bad for a long time doing that.
He still does, but not on the same level that he was before.
He's old and he's tired. He's just like, I'm getting too old for this bleep. So, I keep seeing this. I don't know if it's true that Danny Glover was way younger than me when they shot Lethal Weapon and said, I'm getting too old for this bleep. And I hate that because he looks older than me now in that, even though he was like 42. Like, you son of a bitch. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah, the officials and the basketball and the stuff. Okay, so one last basketball thing. Draymond Green never coming back. Kind of got quiet about that for a while. And old leaky spine coach, what's his name? Kerr.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he had a leaky spine for a while. You knew that, right?
Yeah, that's why.
That's where all the titles went, I guess. Anyway. So Steve Kerr saying, "Hey, Draymond Green, he's giving us some space. We're giving him some space." Okay, are you breaking up or not? It just sounds weird to hear a coach say, "Oh, we're giving each other some space right now." Is he coming back at all?
I actually read something today that they were preparing for him to come back to the facility. Get in his locker.
How do you need to prepare?
I think
like activate his key card.
Cushion the walls.
I mean, maybe. Yeah.
He's been allowed to go back to the facility this entire time. He just he could have gone there and worked out and done stuff. But Steve Kerr said, I don't know if he has or hasn't, but he's been allowed to.
Yeah, I just think that Draymond just wanted to be away from everything to kind of maybe get some perspective on his own behavior and work on that stuff. And so
here's some perspective. You're blowing $100 million contract, jackass. Maybe get yourself to some anger management and get it under control.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's been doing. They haven't talked about it. They haven't put it out there publicly, and it is none of our business. But yeah, I just think it
is my business.
Getting his stuff back in his locker and getting him, all of his
make it my business.
Again. Yeah,
Draymond Green would kick me in the nuts and make it my business.
I mean, if you were playing basketball against him, sure, but
I feel like he would just do that on the street. I feel like that's just his go-to move.
Just see somebody, just stomp on their chest and jump off.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be laying on the ground in the street.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't think that's gonna be. I'm sure there's some homeless people going, I remember him. Good thing they don't have a TV. They know who it was that did that to them. Anyway,
immediately. Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We have so many things to talk about. We're going to do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks in the next hour. Yeah, I know there's no Thursday night football, but we're so used to doing it Thursdays. We're just going to do it anyway. And tons and tons of stuff to talk about in the NFL and otherwise. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Take the guesswork out of your holiday gifts. OmahaSteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and save an additional $30 with promo code VSIN. OmahaSteaks.com.
2 games on the NBA calendar tonight. The San Antonio Spurs are home to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks fighting Boston for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee a 9-point road favorite, minus 420 on the money line, while the Spurs are plus 330 with the over-under of 247.5. The battle of the last 2 NBA champions as the Denver Nuggets are in San Francisco to take on Golden State tonight. The Nuggets are a 3.5-point road favorite. They won both matchups with the Warriors this season. Nuggets minus 168 on the money line. Golden State plus 142. The over-under is at 235.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Oh, this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, a lot of us play fantasy football this time of year, and it's fun. But what you should be playing is fantasy electric bills. What's that? It's where you get with Harman Solar, and they save you over 80% off your electric bill every month. Then each time you open up that bill, you're going to feel like you just won a championship. Call Harman Solar today. Get a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today, the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Tonight, 6:15 p.m., which means Keon barely gets to go to the bathroom before GCU takes on Southern Utah. Right there. Of course, pregame starts at 6:15. I don't know if I should bring this up just in case. Ralph, have you checked? Is your name on that list?
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to bring it up if
No,
it's a sensitive
not on that
subject.
list.
Keon, good?
No.
No,
Okay. Not at all.
All right. So neither of you guys are on the list.
I was hoping you weren't as well.
Neither were selected for the Pro Bowl.
No,
What list do you think I'm talking about?
Oh, I thought we were talking about.
we're
some
talking about the
island
Pro
list.
Bowl.
I was talking about Pro Bowl too,
I
man.
was talking about the pedophile island. So.
Turns out Aaron Rodgers is, this ain't going to go well for him because old Jimmy Kimmel's name wasn't on the list either. And after the things that he said the other day, now the list has been released. His name's not there. Kind of a slam dunk if Kimmel's lawyers decide to, collect a few bucks from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers going on there just talking crap. And I think Jimmy Kimmel, you're a comedian. Take it a little more, as a joke. But still, it is effed up. If somebody had said, I bet your name's on that list, Jeffrey, I might be like, whoa, what the hell, But I think this whole thing is dumb. But the liability now goes towards Aaron Rodgers. And there needs to be a pretty quick apology, or else there's going to be some money exchange.
So wait, he said something to Jimmy Kimmel, and now Jimmy Kimmel's butthurt. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, he insinuated that his name was on that list,
and not the Pro Bowl list,
not the Pro Bowl list.
Yeah, okay,
but on the pedophile list of
pedophile island, right?
Yeah. So that's kind of messed up. That is. I mean, if it's me, I'm brushing it off. I might call him. It was pretty nice how he called him a hole, but
I would leave it there. I don't think I'd be coming at him legally.
I think the reason why the legality came up, I'm just reading into what he said, it seemed to suggest that people came after them after hearing that. So it wasn't just
start getting threats and stuff.
So when that becomes more real than just a joke, like there are steps after that where it's like, yeah, you're a celebrity. It's not hard for people to look up where you live.
Kimmel has a checkered past of doing stuff, and then if you go back and look, there was time he was in blackface. There was the way he acted towards women a lot of the time that he was doing the man show and other things. And, all of it, just, the character of what he was doing. And he wasn't trying, I understand he wasn't trying to be racist. He was trying to, I think he was imitating Charles Barkley, but it's just kind of like, maybe you don't do that. Maybe don't do that.
You could just do the voice.
Yeah,
you really
don't do that.
But back then, it was just comedy back then, right? It wasn't looked at in a different way that it is now.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. As a black person, blackface has always been damn offensive. Yeah. Not just now.
No, I understand that.
Yes.
I get that. I get what you're saying.
That's what I kind of.
But people have been doing that for a long time. I mean,
and it's been bad for a long time.
Now,
and nobody has ever liked it a single time.
This ain't a woke thing. That's always been a racist thing.
I mean, you could get past that, and you could look at his thing on the Man Show. The Man Show was just bad.
There is probably a clip a week,
but it was popular as heck.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it was a parody. Nobody took that because
he was a
seriously.
Comedian.
Yeah, that's it. And so if let's say I'm doing a late night talk show, same situation, and I made fun of Aaron Rodgers for the whole UFO thing, and then Aaron Rodgers decides to come at me with this, I might even just say, "Hey, listen, I get it. You're trying to be funny, but come on, man, don't say that, because that's the I would be more I wouldn't call him an a-hole. I would come out and say, all right, stop the presses. Hold on, Aaron. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I would forget that I'm a comedian at that moment.
My only thing that I would say is Jimmy Kimmel nowadays says some pretty bad stuff about people. So, I mean, he should probably take a step back and think about all the things that he says.
Well, yeah, think about all the things
famous people. So
anyone says as a comedian. Now, you have a certain license to tease, but then there is a line, and I'm pretty sure that pedophile thing is a bit of one. So, but even then, you say, all right, maybe it's time for a little education here. I'm not on the list. I'm not a pedophile, and to insinuate that could endanger me and my family, Aaron. You've probably gone too far. I've enjoyed our back and forths, but come on, let's be reasonable here. And I'm sure at that point, he wouldn't look like he's whining. You know what I'm saying?
I guess if it was a reasonable person, then I'd get it. It's Aaron Rodgers. And
Aaron Rodgers thinks he's always right no matter what. So there's no reasoning with him.
There's no reasoning with a guy that has done at this point multiple conferences on how much everyone should be taking psychedelics. Like I'm just not interested in like, if Aaron,
be honest, Psychedelic Island sounds fun.
Well, that's true.
I'll be on that list. Jeez. I think my wife will let me go, but it's not a bad list to be on. Psychedelic.
If you're drinking your ayahuasca teas and all of that stuff, like I don't know.
I heard that weakens your Achilles, so I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, that ayahuasca. It's taken me forever to learn how to pronounce it. 888-368-1580. Baker's Cocky Hen says he was actually impersonating Karl Malone and how he liked young girls of all things. Was that really what that bit was?
Yeah, that's what that was.
I didn't remember the bit very well, but the thing is, that's true about Karl Malone. And,
true. Yeah. See, that's documented. You can't get sued for that. Last Optimist says Kimmel is a public figure. Burden of proof for libel for public slander is so high it's nearly possible to win that lawsuit. Actually, it's not, because there is recordings of things being said. That's actually a pretty easy one for him to win. And slander, when you've got recordings, pretty easy. Just another face in the crowd says, you guys host a sports talk program. Draymond Green is your business. That's what I say. That's what I say.
Well, yeah, but whether or not when Draymond Green comes back, when they put that out, then we can talk about it. But if before that, we're not gonna roll up on Draymond on the street and risk getting punched, asking him whether or not he's coming back this week or next week? No.
Well, I would. Why wouldn't you? Hey, Draymond, coming back next week? And he either tells you or doesn't. If you're a reporter, that's your job. Why wouldn't you ask him?
Yeah, if you had him in front of you, if he's just walking around minding his own business.
When is he ever walking anywhere? You know what I'm saying? He's in a car.
I assume he has to at some point. I mean, it's
either
from the car, to go to the place at some point.
I'm sure there's people asking him questions all the time, and he's not kicking them in the nuts.
I don't know about that.
I mean, that'd be in the back of your mind as you're asking. You're holding the microphone like this.
Turn to the side, maybe.
Like it got a nice long. Remember that Bob Barker microphone that was like really long and had a little thing at the end? You're holding it like that.
Yeah.
So just he tries to take a swing with his foot, he's never going to get you. That's what I would do. You'd need the Bob Barker microphone.
Yeah. Or have like a boom mic and stand behind the boom mic operator.
It's totally my business. I made it my business. Anyway, so Kimmel not on the list. Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are. What a surprise. And of course, they're going to get the pass saying, well, I just took a ride on his jet. Yeah.
What was the jet
Can't
called?
imagine whatever happened on that plane. Huh?
What was the jet called again? I
don't know. I honestly don't know.
The Lolita Express.
Oh, that's right.
It's literally what it was called. So if you just took a ride, there's no way a normal person with a conscience is setting foot on a plane called that. That's
I thought Lolita was his mother.
I took a ride on the Lolita Express. That's not good.
It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah. Well, I hope that more information about all that comes out, and anybody that was involved in any of that goes down hard. And I don't, of course, that probably could use a different phrasing, but
none of them will go down.
That's a shame.
And then it's true, though. None of them will.
Because I still stand by it. I don't care who it is. I know there's a lot of celebrities who've been accused of being on this list, and there's no evidence of it. And that's been pretty harsh. But if there is proof that somebody has done these things, I say death penalty. I don't say jail. I don't say rehabilitation. I say if you touch a woman and you touch a kid like that, we don't need you anymore. We need to stop your DNA from progressing. So, you do that to a gal, you do that to a kid, bye-bye. So just be glad I'm not running the place.
Well, once they get to prison, it is bye-bye for them. So
not always. Not always.
Especially a kid. If you touch a kid, you're...
If that was an absolute, I'd be like, yes, send them right to jail.
I agree.
But unfortunately, it's not. Walter Mellon says, if the Clintons were involved, here we go. Someone will be committing suicide soon. Wink, wink. Well, it's already happened. So regardless of who it was, it's not stopping the names from coming out. Last Optimist says, to win the lawsuit, Kimmel would need to prove Rogers had knowledge that Kimmel was not on the list and Rogers intended harm to Kimmel. That is not necessarily true.
Yeah, and definitely not in every state is that not true.
Just another face in the crowd says, you don't walk up to Draymond on the street. You ask him from across the street. That's what I'm saying. Long microphone.
Hey, Draymond.
Good point.
What?
When are you coming back?
What? Fighting Wampa says, was anyone else confused last night when they turned on ABC and there was a random NBA game on? I didn't turn on ABC. What random NBA game was on? Suns and Clippers, they weren't on there, right? They were just on Channel 3, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. What was on it? What was supposed to be on ABC?
Don't know what you're talking about, Fighting Wampa. Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, look here. Hey, Ralph, here's some more lies. Let's see how many you'll believe.
Oh, jeez.
Lakers are good.
Truth.
Seahawks are good.
Truth.
USC is good.
Truth.
Well,
when are we going to get to the lies?
That just shows how easy it is for Ralph to lie.
Those are all truths. I mean,
that's kind of spooky.
Come on, give me a lie.
I feel like you should run for office.
I've thought about it.
Oh, by the way, yesterday, I'm not surprised. Yesterday, we were trying to sort out whether Ian Ziering, remember that fellow from the Sharknado and from the 902 whatever? Is it Ian? Ian?
It's Ian.
Who gives a crap?
His name is Ian.
So Ian was driving in his Mercedes, and there was some video. Is like he got into a scuffle with some bikers, and I was like, "Ooh, well, this is interesting." And then I turned on the video; it's just mini bikes. They're just mini bikes,
right?
And we were like, "Well, is this a man card accreditation because he's out there brawling with a bunch of bikers, or is it a man card violation?" Today, more information has come to light. Violation, because why? He started it. He jumped out of his vehicle. It was unprovoked. They were splitting lanes, which is legal in California. And he was like, hey, you're too close to my car. So he jumps out and starts yelling at people. And there they start yelling at him. Then it gets physical. And then, the rest is video history. So, even the mini bikers are like, I don't know, I guess he was having a bad day or something. So, so that's a violation, Ian Ziering. You're going to fight some bikers. How about you full-size bikers? And also, by the way, these people who ride these three-wheel bikers, that are backwards, those things, stop it. Anyway, Ian Ziering.
They're like these motorcycles, but they've got three wheels, but the two wheels are in front.
Yeah.
And then there's
they're
one
Italian.
wheel in the back.
I think they're Italian.
No, they're
Spider,
not Italian.
something like that.
What are they talking about? Those are actually kind of nice.
Oh my God. How old are you?
Have you ever ridden one? Do you ride bikes?
Yes, but I wouldn't ride that. I'm going to ride a motorcycle. I'm going to ride a proper motorcycle.
Well,
Here's the thing.
yeah,
I would be riding a motorcycle every day if I didn't live here.
Yeah. I mean,
this is a good place to get killed because not you being bad at it, everyone else. This is craziness. If I lived in a small town or something, oh yeah, I'd have a hog, as they say.
Out here, I had a Harley for years. I just gave it up a couple years ago, but you take it out to the desert and ride. That's a great place to ride a Harley out here. You're right. You don't ride it in the city.
In the dirt?
Not in the dirt.
You said in the desert.
Like you go out to Carefree. You go
I
out
ride dirt
to
bikes and
Wikia.
quads.
You just go out and you drive. It's beautiful. The topography here is great. But I mean, the one they're talking about.
That's how you get dead.
But the one you're talking about is actually kind of interesting. It's an automatic bike. It's neat. I wouldn't buy one.
Whenever I see those, I'm just like, too much money, not enough sense. Don't really get what biking is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Harley is the way to go. This is how I feel about a 4-door Porsche too. Listen, if you have a 4-door Porsche, you're not exactly experiencing what a Porsche was supposed to be. It's never supposed to be a 4-door. You weren't supposed to be able to drive it regularly. You're supposed to go to the mechanic and see your Porsche.
That's so true.
Fighting Wampa says, every day the Bulls and Knicks are on ABC, and last night was a nationally televised game on a Wednesday. Oh, I see you're saying it was just on regular Channel 15. Can I tell you why? This is actually a good thing if you're a basketball fan. You're going to see more games like this, Fighting Wampa, randomly. Why? Because that writers and actors strike has pushed all the debut dates for all the new shows to February. So that's why they're playing like the first season of Only Murders in the Building on ABC, because they just need content. They are desperate for content. So sports is going to win for the next month and a half on the networks because they have nothing else to air. And I mean nothing. So enjoy that while you can. But that's why, Fighting Wampa. Can-Am Bombardier says, just another face in the crowd, makes those three-wheelers.
Yeah, they're Can-Ams. That's right.
Okay.
The Spiders, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I said. Spiders. That's what I thought they were. Still, I don't know. If I'm going to have a three-wheel, give me the proper three-wheel, the two wheels in the back, the one in the front. You got the big fat guy who's like, I'll be honest, I shouldn't be on a bike. That at least is kind of man.
Now, I was just going to say I'm thinking about getting a Harley trike, but now I can't say that because of what you just said. I used to have a two-wheeler, and my wife won't get on that anymore, so I want to get a three-wheeler. But
you're getting close enough.
No, I'm
Go
not.
ahead and get it. I'll get one too. We'll start
together.
a three-wheel biker band.
At least we'll have a trunk. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, they have a trunk?
Yeah, they have trunks.
Italian trunk or regular trunk?
It's a little trunk on the bottom.
Can you put a body in it?
You could put a little body in it. Like the 7 Little Johnstons. You could probably put 2 of them in there.
Well, we're a division of the midget mafia, and we're gonna take care of some business here out in the desert. Now I know why. No, let's start a three-wheel biker gang. Just a bunch of three-wheelers.
I'm all for it. I'm thinking about seriously. I want one.
We would get beat up so easily. I think.
Maybe. Get Randy to get one, and
I get a V8 in mine. It's like
V8.
Well, in case there's going to be some beating up, you guys are behind me.
Oh my gosh!
I just want it to be loud. And when I ride a bike, if I'm not deaf by the time I get off, something's wrong.
I think I'd probably put some earplugs in. Why would you do that to yourself?
I mean, that's riding a Harley. That's part of the experience is you can't hear when you get done. So
I don't think that's a positive experience or necessary.
Then you know, by the time you're 70, you don't want to hear people's crap anyway. So who cares?
But I don't want to hear people's crap now. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got a whole lot of NFL stuff. Of course, we got our NFL picks coming up here in just a little bit and other assorted things. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach,
diarrhea. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get the 2023 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy among gas engines. Availability is limited. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Auto Pacific segmentation, excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2023 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2023 Nissan Rogue. As shown, Nissan Rogue Platinum all-wheel drive, 28 city 34 highway. Actual mileage may vary.
Marijuana may be legal in Arizona, but driving impaired is not.
As a police officer here in Arizona, I know DUIs apply to more than just alcohol. Anything that impairs driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving impaired can get you a DUI.
Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with the hashtag HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Walter Mellon makes a pretty good point. Says, Jeffrey, I'm pretty sure certain things can't be called sports. A trike group can't be called a biker gang. I think he's right.
Sound logic. Right. Very sound.
It just seems like a fun way to do it, but not fall over. That's the only thing. They just don't want to fall over.
You could have a denim vest. This is geriatrics on the back. It'd be kind of cool.
Oh, you'd have to think of a stellar name. I mean, I helped out Radio Ron with his electric bike gang, Sons of Apathy, and they ride around town on their electric bikes with assless chaps on. So I mean, I imagine we can think of a stellar name for this, but I'm going to need a minute with it. Beer Bob says, if you go three-wheelers, I think the Polaris Slingshot three-wheeler is probably the way to go.
No, Harley.
I'd have to start looking some of these things up. Now, great. Now I'm going to have nothing but Harley, Polaris, and Can-Am ads all over my stuff. I guess it could be worse. Randy's not here. Randy's not here, George. He says, I got a question for Randy White. Well, Randy's not going to be here till tomorrow. So you can save the question or not, but I'll throw it out there. Coyotes take on the New York Islanders tonight at the Mullet Arena. Who do you think's going to win? Coyotes. If you're asking Randy, he'll tell you Coyotes. Everyone else? I don't know. What do you think? Ralph, you're more of a hockey guy than anyone around here. The Islanders. The New York Islanders, not the Pacific Islanders.
I'm very well aware of who the Islanders are.
You don't seem like you are. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I think the Islanders. The Islanders
they're
are pretty
sort
good.
of evenly matched right now.
The Islanders are what 17-10. They have 44 points. The Coyotes have 40. Yeah, they're pretty evenly matched. 12-6 at home. They have the Islanders on the road. Islanders are a decent road team. It's going to be good. I'd go with the Islanders.
Of course you would, because you're just a hater of everything we have.
I'm not a hater of the Coyotes at all, but I would go with the Islanders.
Total hater.
I don't like the Coyotes.
But I tell you what, anytime the Coyotes aren't favored, that's generally a game they're going to come around and try to win on you. You know what I mean?
They've been good at home too. They're 12-6 at home.
So the money line, it's pretty tight. The spread is only 1.5. Money line minus 115 for the Islanders, minus 105 for the Coyotes. Wait, doesn't one of those have to be a plus? Can they both be minus? Is that?
Yeah, they can both be minus.
Can both be minus.
Yeah.
I'm not as much a degen gambler as you guys are, so I didn't know that was a thing.
Got to blame Radio Ron for that one. He comes in and he talks about his bets every day, and it makes me jealous. That the guy that pays me is betting and also making money off of bets, and I go out and make some bets.
He's been working the parlay thing, and he'll admit it. He's like, he tells you more about the stuff he wins than about the stuff he loses. When he loses stuff, he's not as eager to come walking in the office.
Usually when he loses stuff by like one thing,
right?
That's the story that really I think hurts him the most. Where it's like, oh yeah, well, the last leg just died.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen a bunch of people put up the parlays, that have been smart. Like that's a good winnable thing right there. And we had a couple of them come through, and they did win. And so I feel like maybe I should start trying some parlays. You just got to be conservative. You got to be careful, and you just got to be smart. Don't muck around and think you're gonna okay, these things seem reasonable, but man, if this thing hits, all of a sudden I'll make this much more money. No, stick with what you know. And if you can build a pile of what you know and you feel pretty confident about, yeah, all right, take the win. Make a little money. You don't have to always shoot your shot for the big money on a dumb parlay. That is where people start getting into trouble, I think. Mr. Wilbur says 2 things. I don't know, Wilbur, I don't know if I have time for 2 of your things. He says, I'd like to thank you guys for helping me take down my outside Christmas lights today. I'll remember next year to call you a few days earlier. The other thing, Keon, you're a black man? I never knew that. He says, just kidding, my friend. Well, Wilbur would never have known that unless we told him.
I'd like to know how he got his Christmas lights down.
Yeah. How did we help you take your Christmas lights down?
How'd you know where they were?
I didn't show up for it. That's the other thing. Why do you need them? I mean, maybe on the outside, but not on the inside, right?
That's horrible.
Just saving electricity.
Why do you need them?
He just goes there and feels the Christmas tree. Yep. Merry Christmas. Yeah, that's great. Are they on? Oh yeah, Dad, they're on. Man, I want to put up Christmas lights and leave them there. And I think I know the way to do it with those LED lights. So most of the year, they're those white Spanish or Mexican lights that you have. Look like somebody's having a party all the time. And then you click a button and then, suddenly it's Christmas lights. But the thing is, I don't want you to see them during the day. So there's got to be
they have those
thing
where they actually they're kind of hidden and then they those are cool. They have
they're hidden. You hit a button and they go.
Yeah, they kind of open up. Yeah, I mean it's kind of they're expensive as heck though. But yeah,
send me a link. I'm rich.
Yeah.
Wow. Mr. Wilbur says some of us have solar panels. Jeffrey, that's how I power my lights. Again, how would you? Okay. Are you being told this? Big George says, I like parlays just like the next guy. How do you know the next guy likes parlays? What do you mean just like the next guy? How do you know the next guy doesn't just hate parlays? George, I think you're just talking out your ass. Anyway, he says, but I'm a big fan of backdoor covers. Nothing excites me more than when I score a backdoor cover. Comes out of nowhere.
I'm not sure what that's about.
You're trying to tell us something, Big George.
Who's covering his back door and why?
I don't want to know about this. Fish Tank says the Islanders have 10 overtime losses. I'm betting, will there be overtime? Yes. Well, you listen, just because they have 10 overtime, I mean, this season, they had to go to overtime 10 times and lose.
They're just coming off an OT loss to Colorado. So,
well, then maybe you don't bet that, because if they just came off one, what are the chances of them doing it two games in a row? I don't know. Hey, Vince, listen, Fish Tank, you're more of a gambler than I am, but I probably would avoid that one.
No, Fish Tank. Yeah, how's your Dolphins, Fish Tank?
What are you going to do that? What are you going to do that? We're talking hockey.
I know, but I just wanted to throw it out
there. Jeez.
To be fair to Fish Tank, I think he actually said that he didn't think the Dolphins were going to win.
Oh, I don't care. I just want to talk.
He's aware.
No, I think the Seahawks are going to lose this weekend too.
They've had a bad week. They're guy's house burnt down, everything else. Like, good job, Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill's house burnt down. You know who burnt down? His kid. Because this is going to go great for that kid, because you know how good Tyreek Hill is with children.
Did you see how pissed off he was? There's a video of him outside with his wife. He is not happy.
Oh my God. I hope it's not the same kid.
I thought he was going to hit somebody.
Oh no. Seriously.
Probably still will.
I hope they put the kids in an undisclosed location for a while.
Just
it turned out the kid was playing with matches or a lighter or something.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's what it was, really? Wow. Did not know that.
Burning down the house. Oh, by the way, speaking of well, I don't know. There's no segue for this. I can't believe they dropped the felony charges against Jackson Mahomes. And here's what I think. I'm just going to tell you what I think. I have no proof of any of this, but it sure looks that way. You know how when they say when there's smoke at Tyreek Hill's house, there's fire? Well, I've seen the video, okay? He did the thing he was accused of doing, but the lady who owned the place, she got death threats and she got intimidated, and she ended up having to close down her restaurant out of fear of the repercussions, because Jackson Mahomes grabbed her by the neck and forcibly kissed her, also pushed down another waiter. And this was on video. And so there's these felony charges, but ever since then, she's like, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want to be a part of this. I lost my business and I lost my life because of this. And I don't want to be involved in this because this ain't going to go well for me either. So it's not worth it. And so the gal is just sort of just not participated, not helped. And they said, yeah, well, without cooperation from the victim, we have to just dismiss these charges. And so that's what they did, except for where he pushed the waiter, because that, you shoved the waiter. So, I'm just, this Jackson Mahomes guy, I can't believe they're just letting him skate on this. There's a video right there.
Yes.
That's the only thing that makes the NFL do anything. So why can't they just go ahead with the video? You don't need the gal. You just need the video.
Well, the judge dismissed it. So I don't know that it's necessarily something
that is some crooked crap. Was this in Kansas City, Missouri? That
is a very good question.
Johnson County is where it was. See, why do you got to go there, Ralph?
You knew exactly what I was thinking.
As soon as I heard the chuckle.
Johnson County.
Yeah. So, yeah, this wherever it was. So I just don't understand what sort of cretin a guy assaults a woman, and then the woman says, hey, Patrick Mahomes' brother did this. Nobody's mad at Patrick Mahomes. None of this is blown back on him. It's just like, wow, you need to distance yourself between you and your scumbag brother. And, and then after that, you just take care of what needs to be taken care of there. But who's calling up and making death threats because you've accused somebody's brother of something?
That's stupid.
I'm just baffled by all of this. None of this was going to blow back on Patrick Mahomes. So why would anybody be threatening that gal? Oaktown Destroyer says Mahomes paid her off. Well, that's a guess,
but also this is not the
possible.
This is the criminal stuff. So even if he paid her off, that doesn't explain why the judge dismissed it.
No, they paid the judge off.
Well, okay, that makes more sense.
And where's Jackson County? Have we figured that out? Johnson County.
Still working on that, but I think that is actually Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah, this is sickening. This is you've got video. You don't need her to be a witness.
Yeah, it's Kansas City.
He's going to mess around and do something stupid again.
Rolls for thee and rolls for me. That's how it works.
I know. It's not right. Pickle D said that whole Tyreek Hill thing, they said cigarette lighter. LOL. Who smokes cigarettes in that household? I think the child does. Don't judge. All right. Hour one down, 2 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 31st. Great shopping, a giant crafts market, new shows featuring seafaries, mermaids, and merriment.
Non-stop feasting and more.
The Renaissance Festival is back.
Weekends now through March 31st. Discount tickets available at Bashes and Food City or ArizonaRenfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
Hi, it's Jada Cantor. My dad, Diamond Dave, will help you find the perfect wholesale diamond for any occasion. He's a 4th-generation GIA trained direct importer that ensures you the best quality diamond at a low cost. With his connections, knowledge, and passion, we will source you the diamond of your dreams. By appointment and in a private wholesale office, giving you the one-on-one priority you deserve. When it comes to diamonds, my dad is committed to sourcing your diamond with the lowest overhead of anyone in the industry. You deserve nothing but the best, and there's nobody else who will take care of you and your diamonds better than my dad, Diamond Dave.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450, 480-397-2450, or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave, KANTOR.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Found him. I saw a news article here Headline: Man arrested after stealing plane from airport and flying to California. Numerous beer cans and bottles in cockpit, police say. There's Randy. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and we got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And let me clean up the text line here. We were talking about all sorts of random crap in the last hour. And Fish Tank says, you know, what made me laugh about that whole Tyreek Hill house fire thing was they said his kid was playing with a, and I quote, cigarette lighter. I feel confident that cigarettes are not what Tyreek has been smoking. Well, maybe a type of cigarette. But then again, though, he wouldn't be that fast if he was sitting there smoking anything, right? I mean, even marijuana will get your lungs kind of, you know what I'm saying? He's a finely tuned machine, that little child beater.
I think with that, I don't think you can necessarily know that. It does mess up your lungs, though. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
almost worse than cigarettes, they say.
But I have seen people just get baked and then play entire games of basketball, and I don't understand it either. Well, personally,
gymnasium or playground basketball, not same as.
I understand, but if you're fast, you're fast.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. But it can't help, especially in a game of inches and speed and this and that. He prides himself on it.
And I do think that this is the time of year. Obviously, you're not, because you know that the drug testing and all that stuff is coming up now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you're trying to get that out of your system. So I don't think that that's it right now. I have no idea.
So here's what I want to see. What kind of lighter was it? Because if I've got a couple of grill lighters, you know, the long thing, and then and that kind of a lighter. I don't have any Bic lighters. I don't have anything like that. So that's the one thing I don't know yet. Beer Bob says that commercial for Arizona Ren Fest, isn't that a little early? Doesn't start until February 3rd. Yeah, man, it's a month from now. They like to get your attention early. So, you know, what's your problem?
If they start playing it when it happens, then you didn't know beforehand.
They want you good and homicidal by time you're ready to go.
Honestly, I thought this spot was more chilled out than the one in previous years with the huzzas and the turkey legs.
I'm just not a fan of the huzzas.
This one didn't really have it.
Don't they have more sayings than just that?
I think so, but that's the one that they say the most.
Okay, why didn't they go with Dilly Dilly? Bud Light, I guess, took that. Fish Tank says, I've already taken Monday off to recover from the emotional roller coaster that will be Sunday night Dolphin football, but at least we'll play at least one more playoff game than the Sea Chickens, and I won't spinelessly become a Rams fan. Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, well done. Nice. He just cooked you, Ralph.
Wow.
Just cooked you.
Not bad for a fish.
Random texter says, Jackson Mahomes is a horse's ass. You are correct, sir. And that's a Chiefs fan saying that right there. George, Big George, says, as a former prosecutor, we used to proceed all the time without a victim, as long as there was some other evidence besides victim testimony that the crime occurred. The old corpus delicti and hearsay issue. Corpus is easy to overcome, though there is audio, pictures, video, or even the victim's 911 call. 911 tape is an exception to the hearsay. So you can easily proceed with the case without the victim's cooperation, which is very common, especially in domestic violence cases. So yeah, for the judge to throw this out and for the prosecutors to let it go, that is suspect, to say the least.
They probably didn't want that negative press on that family because of who Pat Mahomes is and where they're at.
What
That's probably all it was.
Justice because it was right.
Yeah, it's not justice, but that's exactly why it happened.
And which sucks because, when you think about it, it's stupid people who are taking this cause up on behalf of Patrick Mahomes, who never asked them to do this.
Yeah. Maybe he'd like his brother to go to jail just to get some relief. Just like, oh God, if I got to put up with him one more time. Oh my God. I'm not saying put him away forever, says Patrick Mahomes, just long enough. Average Joe says Jackson Mahomes charges being dropped, screams of a backdoor payoff.
Probably.
He also says, by the way, did you ever watch Ricky Williams in college or Beast Mode? Oh, yeah.
No, that's true. That's true.
Individual results may vary, I guess, on the old marijuana.
Like at a
consumption.
certain point, you're just such a freaky athlete that that's not really going to be the deciding factor between you being fast or not.
Beer Bob, I'll look into that. That I don't know if you're right. That shouldn't be doing that. Moist One says, ooh, meat sticks. Sorry, what did that have to do with anything? Did we bring up meat sticks? Meat sticks at the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pickle D says there are also settlements that happen outside of court.
Yeah, but that's usually in the civil. When you're talking about a criminal case, which is what this was, you're not settling. you are coming to some decision, whether it's guilty or not guilty. So to have the case dismissed, that's not a settlement. The judge tossed it.
Yeah, something don't smell right, and I feel bad for that poor lady. She lost her business because of all this. And listen, if she's at that point, she's like, I just want it to go away. All right, power to you. But now he's empowered to go on and do this crap again. And don't be surprised. More than likely, it'll happen again. Beer Bob says, so they're saying Tyreek's kid set the house on fire? Whew, damn, I feel sorry for that kid. Can't imagine the beatings he's going to get now. That's what I was saying. Don't feel like Tyreek Hill is what you say well, he's not a good person. Anyway.
and therefore not a good parent.
Yeah.
Not a nurturer.
So Ricky Rubio retired today. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He decided that he's been having some mental health issue type stuff. I don't know what it's about. Don't care. He also had been injured quite a bit over the last couple of years. I think he had an ACL or something. And he finally decided, he's like, yeah, all right, we're gonna keep working on me, but I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. So 12 years in the NBA, and some of that time was spent here with the Phoenix Suns. And so he seems positive about things. He's like, one day when the time is right, I'll share my full experience with everybody so I can help support others going through similar situations. But until then, I want to keep private for my family and myself. Still working on the mental health. Proud to say I'm doing much better and getting better every day. So, but he just is still realizing where he's at this moment. Just going to have to step away from basketball for good. So he was even like, I'm surprised anybody signed me. I can't believe that they actually did that. So thanks, Cleveland, but I got to go.
Yeah, and good for him. But he's had a long basketball career, 12 years in the NBA, and then he's been playing pro basketball in Europe since he was 14. So more than half of his life has been spent playing basketball professionally. That, little burnout too, probably.
Well, at this point, once he's done working on himself and gets his head right, I bet he goes back to Spain, and I bet he plays a little ball there. I'm sure they'd readily be happy to have him on a court or something, or be involved in some aspect of basketball. So, he had a nice career, and I'm sure he ain't done yet. But yeah, good for him. He always seemed like a pretty good guy. I don't think I've ever heard a bad word about Rubio. Have you?
No, I never have. Ricky Rubio is also the first player that got drafted, and I was older than him when he got drafted. And that was the beginning of the end. I've been older than every draft class since.
What was your moment, Ralph? It was like when you were older than Terry Bradshaw? Which one was
Wow.
what was it for you?
I haven't had that moment yet.
Well, I'll help you have that moment, because you can share this moment. Is when I realized I'm just a little bit older than Kurt Warner.
Wow.
Yeah. That one was weird.
Huh.
Yeah. Just a little bit. You're a lot older than Kurt Warner.
I really haven't had that moment I can think of.
How about now when I tell you that the gray in your beard, now that you've stopped coloring it, makes it look like you're huffing chalk?
And with that, it'll get colored tonight.
No, here's the thing. All of mine is gray now. If I grow a beard now, it's all gray. That just happened over like the course of the last couple of years. Like right now, because I'm just pasty white, you can't see it so well unless you zoom in. I got some stubble going on here. It's all gray.
Because you're pasty white.
Oh yeah, it just blends in on camera. But if you were in person, my wife was like, "Don't you want to shave?" I'm like, "I got a bright light in my face. I'm fine." Here, I'll get closer. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I didn't even notice it.
It's a whole lot of gray. But if I were gonna like grow it out, I'd be like, just for men.
I was more blown away by your hair on top, but okay.
Did I actually had some?
I was just surprised about how much you have and how it's doing all this weird stuff.
Well, it's because I haven't had a haircut in a
It
while.
kind of
So
looks
it's all
cartoonish. So
greasy and just under a hat hair. I'll tell you what, if it makes you feel better, one of these days I'll show up to the station all combed up. How's that?
Combed up.
I'll let
As long
you
as
do
it's
to
not
me
combed-
what Jimmy Kimmel did to Trump, just to see what's going on
As
there.
long as it's not combed over.
It's not a comb over.
You don't comb your eyebrow hair back, then we're good.
Oh, that's another thing, man. Two more things about hair. One, about 50 years old, my eyebrow hair started trying to escape my body, like shooting straight out like lasers. I'm like, what the hell's going on here, Larry Hagman? What is this? And then the other thing is the constant you turn around, ear hair. What
Yep.
the constant ear hair, just poof, like a bushel. It's just like I'll like that didn't work. I just grabbed a pair of tweezers and went, "Blah!" I pulled it all out. And it hurt, and I was like, "Aha, that'll do it." Next day, where's this coming from?
It's crazy, right? I agree with you.
I give up. It's just, you know what? That's my ear hair is now everyone else's problem.
You have to shave it.
Is that it? Just got to get one of those little things and
You get a
every
razor.
day?
No, I do it with a razor.
Oh dear God! That
Oh yeah, I get in there with a razor. man.
electric or
No, just a regular old razor.
how big is your ear hole? You can fit a razor in there.
I can fit it.
Yee, Jesus.
It's either that or you get wax and stick the wax in there. You let it sit and you pull all the wax out.
I got enough earwax. I think I have an attachment for one of my shavers, but it just tickles. So I don't know.
Those don't
Maybe.
work. How about your nose?
And what about your nose?
You got your nose going.
It's not as bad. I
It
gotta.
will be. Don't
I
worry.
gotta trim her up a little bit. No,
It's
I hear you. When I get to your age,
Keon,
I'm
you're-
sure.
this is all coming for you, dude.
But just all of a sudden, hair goes every
Not
direction.
thrilled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's weird.
It is weird. It just has a mind of its own.
Scratch Me Because says I have so much long ear hair that I think Rapunzel might be living in my ear canal.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Scratch Me Because also says, but what's worse, gray beards or stinkapaws? Oh, I talked about having stinkapaws where
Stinkapaws.
I got to a certain age, like it's recently, and my deodorant does not hold up. I'd use the deodorant, and then I'd stink pretty quick. I was like, "Whoa, what's
Oh.
this?" Because I never usually
I
used
don't
to
have that
stink.
issue at all.
And then they told me it's like, yeah, it's your underarm hair. You gotta trim that. I'm like, that doesn't sound manly. So then instead of using a razor, because I feel like that's unmanly, I just grab a wad of it and I just cut it with the scissors, and it has helped. It has helped.
Wow,
Hey,
this
and I
show's
also
gone to a
found
different
out
place.
I didn't know this because I never really looked at my underarms. I got a mole right there, like a big flappy alien looking mole. You gotta have that thing taken off.
A mole or a
Flappy
piece,
mole.
piece of skin thing? A skin tag?
I don't know. It looks like a mole, but it's flappy. And I probably should have it looked at.
Like a skin tag.
He might have hair and teeth. I'm not sure. It just, I can show you.
I really don't want to see it. It's okay.
We're all good.
We all get skin tags. That happens.
No, yeah.
When they start getting bigger than they start coming. If it's big
Those
enough
are
to
called
give it-
nipples.
I had one that was big enough to give it its own name.
Yeah.
So I just cut it off.
I had a mole in the back of my neck. My wife made me cut it off. I was like, well, it had a name and everything. I felt
When they start talking to you, get rid of them.
felt sad to see it go there. Big George says, don't shave your nose hair.
Why?
He says it's been scientifically proven that nose hair helps prevent respiratory viruses and diseases from entering your body. By the way, this coming Sunday is the anniversary of when Ralph gave me COVID. I actually put it on
Oh
my
my
calendar.
gosh.
It's actually on my calendar.
You're the super spreader. You gave it to me.
Oh, you're so
But
lying.
it's my fault.
Such a
Oh,
liar.
man.
Moist one says, nice to see you participating in January. That's the gals. That's the gals with the January. And not a fan.
Not a fan?
None of my business, but not a fan. Hefty Lefty says, did Rubio retire from international too? I don't remember if he's still on the national team roster for Spain.
He's not. He's not. He took some time off from everything. I don't know if he's going to stay retired for all of that, but my guess is yes, he hasn't been playing basketball at all.
So, somebody who probably should retire, but they're coming back. Conor McGregor announced that he's coming back for International Fight Week later in January to fight Michael Chandler. So, yeah, okay, I get it. It's a soft fight, Chandler's 2-3 since he's been hanging around there, with this whole thing. And McGregor, he's lost 3 of his last 4 fights. I saw this video of him talking about it. And McGregor looks soft. He does look soft. I think he's just trying to set up a pay date. I don't think this is going to be a good fight. He probably can take care of Chandler. But outside of that, I don't see Conor McGregor fighting anybody that matters. And he's like, we're going to do it at 185 pounds. Oh, my God, he's soft. That's close to my weight. That's more close to my weight class. Now, my weight class is 215 right now. But it's closer to me than it is 140.
185 in one leg, maybe, but
that's hurtful, Ralph. I feel like you're fat shaming me right now.
Not really, just telling the truth.
I think you're probably heavier than I am.
A little bit.
Oh, wow. You admitted it right away.
Well, I have no problem with that.
Thought we were going to have to get some scales out and say, aha.
Why do these fighters have such problems staying retired? I don't understand.
Well, he never retired. He just got his leg broken a couple of years ago.
Technically, he should be retired. I mean, he's done.
Yeah, I just if you broke once before, don't you think that's going to be a point of focus for the next fight or two?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just think guys get addicted to the spotlight, which he definitely has, and he's been out of it for a while. And I think that also guys get addicted to the payday, and he's the kind of fighter because of who he is as a personality. If he talks enough crap to the right person, it makes a fight, and then there's just more money printing itself for him. That's basically
he'll get the payday once, and then if he comes back and gets beat up, then no one's going to want him to see him again.
If he loses this fight, he needs to retire.
But
so he should win this fight, and then the next fight, if he loses that, I mean, anything he loses from this point forward, he's going to have to say it's enough. It scratched me because speaking of someone who should retire, but I'm afraid is going to always come back, Ralph.
Just for that, I'll be back every day.
No, I'll retire. I'll retire and leave you with Ralph.
How about that? Man?
How's that?
The Daily Blender with Ralph Romano.
Why not? Well, no, if I go, the name goes with me. You'll have to call it the Daily Solar Panel or something.
The Daily Solar Panel.
I don't know. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got a few more random sports things before we do our Harman Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. And, of course, we've got a bunch of NFL to talk about. This is a messed up week for picks. So don't copy our papers. I wouldn't suggest it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Grand Canyon University basketball is back for another exciting season. After advancing to March Madness in 2 of his 3 seasons as the head coach, Bryce Drew brings a team to the court this season, picked to win the conference once again, and led by first-team All-WAC selection Gabe McLaughlin and WAC preseason Player of the Year Ray Harrison. Check out the schedule at gculopes.com to find matchups with San Francisco, DePaul, Liberty, and last year's national championship runner-up, the San Diego State Aztecs. Join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on The Fanatic, the home of Lopes basketball.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. 6:15 tonight. You got GCU playing Southern Utah. You'll hear them again on Saturday when they take on Utah Tech. That's right. They're on tour in Mormon country. And you can hear both those games right here on 1580 The Fanatic. Also on Saturday, we got Steelers and Ravens at 2 p.m.
The Texans and Colts are going to be over on Money Radio because of the GCU game. That happens at 6. On Sunday in the morning, we got Vikings at Lions. So that's going to be horrible. And let me just tell you why. The Lions are starting everybody. The Vikings have nothing left to live for. Actually, no, that's not true. There is a sort of 3% chance that they find their way into the playoffs. But it's just a whole lot of weird crap's got to happen for it to happen, not likely to happen. And I'll tell you what's not going to happen. They're not going to win. So it doesn't matter. But that game is on at 10:30. At 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, we got Bills at Dolphins. Okay, somebody remind me, because I don't remember seeing this. Josh Allen, is he going to play for the Bills?
Because they're still trying to win the division.
Dolphins, Tua going to play?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing their guys. So that'll at least be a game that you can watch without being another game you can watch is, like I was saying, Texans and Colts. That's a playoff game. Mm-hmm. That is, I mean, I ain't saying it's a good one. It's the Texans and the Colts, but it is a playoff game because whoever wins is ins. If the Colts win that game, they're in there. The only other aspects where the Colts need help is to win the division, and there's some formulas on that. Well, I will not bore you with, but so yeah, I'm lukewarm on whether or not my wife is mad at me right now. She's like yelling at me. She's like, hold on a second. She's like, I'm a Cardinals fan. Yeah, I know. And she says, you should just be happy. Root your Colts. Wouldn't it be something if they made it to the Super Bowl? I said, no, it wouldn't. That would be bad because the Colts are a nice team. They're a fine team. They're an okay team. They're not a Super Bowl team. And do you really think the Colts are going to be able to take down the Ravens? Are the Colts going to take down the 49ers? I'm talking about the path to the Super Bowl or even in the Super Bowl. Do you think the Colts can beat the Niners or the Ravens or the Bills
or the Dolphins
or the Dolphins? Are there anybody? I mean, they should beat the Texans, and that should be about it. I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about them. And I know they're like, what kind of a fan are you? I'm a realist. Don't like to see my boys embarrassed,
because at some point, if you're in the team in that Cinderella role, eventually it ends. And sometimes, the teams go the distance. Nick Foles, Eagles, they go the distance. But most of the time, you don't. It's quiet and it's usually sad, and there's many touchdowns involved in the losing, and you didn't score any of them. It could get ugly.
I'm going to root my team on no matter what happens. I'm going to root them on against the Texans. It's a winnable game. I'm not saying I'm picking them, but it's a winnable game. And then after that, who knows how this thing will go. But it does not look good for a full-on run. If they Arizona Diamondbacks it right into that Super Bowl, check with me then, because I just don't know, man. It's probably going to be the 49ers. It's probably going to be the 49ers. And my defense is okay. My defense is not up to beating the 49ers. Ralph, is your defense up to beating anyone? No, they're not.
My defense, if you have a ball and you're running, they don't know how to stop you. So
right. And have you met Christian McCaffrey? So
yeah.
You're done. I'm done. We're all done. So it's got to be a team that is next level. And right now, at this moment, it ain't my Colts. Maybe next year, the year after that, this team can be grown. Maybe Anthony Richardson stops running into brick walls and stuff like that. So Scratch Me Because says the fastest canceled show in radio history would be the Daily Blender with Ralph Romano. Do all the pooping on Arizona teams. Yeah, that's true.
I guess it would be the only truthful show in the state, but whatever.
No, listen, you just hear what I said about my own team. There's been no lack of truth on this show.
You tell a lot of truth about your team.
And I said all the same truth about the Suns. They're in trouble. No. This Suns team ain't right, and this is not a championship team. We were hoping for it, and then we've seen what they are, and now we know it. They're just not. They're better than the Lakers.
Since he's not here, I'll just say it. It's Randy's. Randy's the one
lying. Randy's only kind of lying about the Cardinals once a week. And he's not here today to do it, so there'll be no lies. we all talk very realistically about our Arizona teams and about our own personal teams. So don't act like you've got the market cornered on truth, Ralph.
Oh, I do.
By the way, you don't, because anytime you're like, oh, the Seahawks are going to kick ass, the next time, oh, I never said that. I never.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We know. We know.
By the way, this is astounding, and I had to look at this twice. But ESPN and the NCAA now have an 8-year agreement for the NCAA tournament, $920 million for the women's. This isn't the men's. This is for the women's tournament. Almost $1 billion. And then my mind goes back to the video of them showing the women's, gym during the tournament, which is like 3 barbells and a Suzanne Summers, a little cruncher thing. What was that thing called? The ab cruncher, whatever it was. And
Thigh
so,
Master.
Thigh Master. Everybody's making money. Even the women's NCAA tournament. There's all that money going around. None of it is finding its way to making things better for the women's sports. That is astounding. And they say, well, the audiences just aren't the same. Well, yeah, the tournament actually has been getting better ratings. And then we just saw this gal who, by the way, they are like, oh, she hit a buzzer beater from the logo. If we're fair about that, that was a big ass logo. That logo was almost all the way to the 3-point line. So
that's where a lot of logo, when they say from the logo, they don't necessarily
when
mean
they say
a
logo, I
half
think
court
right
shot.
in the damn middle. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the logo in the middle.
They would say half court.
Just say it was a long 3. If
From
your
the
logo is that big,
It's a step back.
I'm
I'm going to make my logo go up to the 3-point line. So every time somebody shoots a free throw, they're like, it's from the logo.
Okay, that would be odd. You would be the outlier. It's not like that logo went to the 3-point line.
I ain't trying to take anything away from the ladies.
It's a big logo.
The logo is a bad term if that's how big the logos are.
But when they say Steph from the logo, Steph is not at half court, because if he was shooting half
they
court,
should stop saying that.
They would just say half court. It's been around for like 20 years. No one's going to stop saying it.
No, I'm going to write a letter.
Okay.
That needs to end. Or make the logo smaller in the middle, the round part in the middle.
Would you agree you'd rather watch the ladies tournament than watch a WNBA game? I would rather watch the college tournament for women than the WNBA.
Trying to think about how those are different.
They are different. I think the energy is different because the college teams.
Well, you say the same thing about men's college.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it has a better feeling when you watch a women's college tournament game versus watching a WNBA game with 5,000 people there.
I just think people show up more for them, because when I watch the basketball, like the actual basketball removed from the energy of the crowd and all of that stuff, like it's not different. They don't forget when they graduate how to play ball. They're still playing basketball.
Yeah, but the difference is the energy from the crowd, because the schools have those backings.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that just tells you that heterosexuals give a lot of energy, because that's the only difference I see in these games, is because all those girls have parents. So there's more people in the stands for the NCAA game, and then after that, it's not quite like that. So then there's less.
Those games are packed. Those college games are completely packed. I mean, if you
especially for whatever reason, Iowa,
they're relevant right
now.
And
women's basketball, but even before Caitlin Clark and everything, that they showed up for those games.
All I know is if my car were ever to break down at any sporting event, God, please let it be a WNBA game, because there's a lot of people there in the crowd who can help you fix a car. That's all I'm saying. Just true. Pull the Plug says the Colts would be favored to beat GCU. Cardinals would not. Okay, Pull the Plug. 888-368-1580.
GCU doesn't play football.
Just soccer,
baseball, basketball, and literally every other one.
It's not big enough for football.
So the list of most profitable NFL teams came out. None of our teams are on it. Well, one that when the Seahawks stink, Ralph says, I've been a lifelong Rams fan.
Seahawks have to be on there. Come on.
They are not on the top 10. I only got the top 10. The Rams are in 10th place, $125 million. This is profit. This is not how much they're
That
worth.
makes sense.
This is profit. You guys can't have any profit. Who built SoFi? I mean, did you guys pool money together
It
with
was
the
it
Chargers?
was between taxpayers and private money, but it was mostly taxpayer money, I think.
I'm surprised you guys have anything left to pay anybody. But $125 million profit for the Rams, 126 for the Jets, 152 for the 49ers, 159 million profit for the Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Huh.
First off, that stadium is a palace.
Are they charging people rent there?
Yes.
People are sleeping in their seats?
I went to exactly one game, and I didn't pay for it. I couldn't afford it. It is pricey, and then look, the food is good, but it is also pricey. It's
Atlanta don't strike me as a place where there's a lot of rich people. So who's paying for
you
these
would
tickets?
be incorrect.
Really?
Atlanta is
There's a lot of
very
rich
rich.
people in
Yes.
Atlanta?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I mean, I know CNN is there, so I just figured everybody's on welfare there, right?
Like where they put the Braves Stadium, that northwest part of the city. That is a very wealthy area of the country.
You know, sometimes you'd be surprised because somebody was telling me there's rich areas of Detroit, and I just did not believe them.
Yeah, well,
not many, but there are.
Then they showed me the whole thing, and then there's the map, and then there's like trenches, and there's moats, and there's stuff that's
Yeah,
and then there's these rich houses up there north in Detroit, I guess.
Once you get to the suburbs and beyond that, yeah.
So the Philadelphia Eagles, they have made a profit of $187 million. Texans, 195 million. How are they making all that extra profit?
Paying their players, I guess.
That's it. They're not paying anybody. Chicago Bears, 203 million. Patriots, 206. Now we're just talking about storied franchises that just have this base that whether they're good or they're bad, they're just solid in there. The New York Football Giants, $216 million profit, and they're in second place. First place, you knew what I was going to say, Dallas Cowboys. They jumped between them and second place, $300 million. No, that's not how much. That's how much more. $504 million profit for Jerry World. Holy crap.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys, $504 million on profit. They're going to do something's going on there. Something's going on there. I don't know. Something dirty. I just feel like something dirty is going to come out. I got no proof of nothing, but
there are Cowboy fans everywhere. Like being a military kid growing up and moving to all these different places, and just somehow there's just always Dallas fans there. Like that'll do it. The brand is just bigger than being Dallas. It's everywhere.
Hamilton Porter says, if the city has a Real Housewives, it has wealthy people. Okay, so if there's a Real Housewives show, they got rich people.
Yeah.
That's why there's not a Real Housewives of Buckeye. Gotcha. Understand. 100% get you. Thank you for that. 888-368-1580. Do you care? Do you care about the UFL? The awful UFL? Do you care? Because I have something to tell you about if you do. But if you don't.
No.
I mean,
Ralph, do you care?
I'll probably watch some of it.
Arizona doesn't have a team.
That's surprising.
I don't think California has a team. Does California? I don't think they do. So there's no California team for you to bandwagon. I don't know who your team would be if you're going to follow.
Seattle doesn't have a team. They had the Dragons last year, but I think they didn't bring them on board.
No. Well, they're going to, if you do care, UFL is going to have a draft on Friday. The dispersal drafts, and they're going to do another one down the road. So they're having a couple of dispersal drafts, trying to get the best of what's left onto the 8 teams. There's only 8 teams in this UFL. So you're really going to watch this crap March 30th?
I mean,
San Antonio is the team the furthest west.
Yeah, they
Texas.
Picked the wrong markets.
Yeah.
They did a bad job with the markets.
There's nothing in California. There's nothing west of San Antonio, Texas.
And I get why there's nothing in California. No one's going to watch it.
Yeah.
Have I told you lately it's going to fail? Like yesterday, right? That was the last time I told you.
Yeah,
let me tell you again. It's going to fail.
A couple of times. Yeah.
Did I tell you that all the ones they have tried over the last 5, 6, 7 years were going to fail? Yes. Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is going to fail. There's no reason for it. It's just not going to survive. Big George says, yes, Ralph. Sorry. The mighty Seattle Sea Dragons.
Yeah, they're done.
They were
good for that league.
They're gone. Pour one out in memory of the Sea Dragons. It's another dumb thing, like the Seahawks. There's no such thing as a Sea Dragon. There's nothing like it. There's no such thing as a Seahawk.
Well, no.
There is no such thing as a Seahawk.
The Seahawk goes back to the natives that live over there and the totem poles, and they have Seahawks on those totem poles. So it's a kind of
they're not called Seahawks. Ask a native.
It's a big native thing over there. So it has validity.
The natives don't call them Seahawks.
They didn't pull it out of their butt.
They're like, these are just hawks,
No.
That's it. It's a hawk.
They're by the sea. They're hawks.
Oh, you don't know what you're talking about.
I do.
When's the last time you talked to a native in Seattle? Never.
89?
Never.
89.
Yeah.
And I was there. It's been a while.
33
He's like,
years
when
ago.
did I take peyote? When did that happen?
I spent some time out there in the late 80s. So.
Sometime 33 years ago.
And you walked
Thanks
off
for
going,
bringing that up. That was 33 years, Keon. I appreciate
you
that.
walked off going, wow, there really is a Seahawk. And they're just laughing at you as you go to your car. White man thinks Seahawk real.
You can look at the history of it. It's there.
So I need to know something. Will Shipley, Clemson running back, Will Shipley. He's going to be in the draft. He's decided to declare for the draft, Keon. Is that guy somebody who's going to make it in the first round? Is that somebody we should keep an eye on? Or is that just, okay.
I mean, he'll be in the first three, but he's not going in the first.
No way.
More of a day two kind of guy?
Yeah, and probably not the second either.
All right, so he's
third or fourth.
Yeah, pretty good running back. Let's just see what happens. What you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a solid guy.
Just another face in the crowd says some folks will hate to watch the UFL. Yeah. Oh, they'll hate watch it. Oh no, not me. I like my eyes too much.
I think the best way to hate something is to not watch it. Personally, I don't understand hate watching things.
I've never hate watched anything.
Me neither. Like
if I don't I don't watch.
Yeah, but there are certain people who
I've been trying to figure out how to turn off Ralph's camera from this side. I just can't figure it out.
I can do it for you.
I just move my screen down. There. Now I still see the top of his hat. Never mind. Anyway, what were you saying? Somebody was talking?
No.
I think Keon was.
I mean, I might have lost my train of thought there, but
it happens. Big George says, Jeffrey, all the Seattle sports teams' names are moronic. Seattle Seahawks, Kraken, Supersonics. Whoa. I like the Supersonics. Seattle Supersonics, when I lived in Oregon, that was our team, man.
They all relate to Nautical Northwest. What are you talking about, George? I mean, you're a pretty educated guy. I would hope that you'd figure this out, right?
Well, that's why he's not a lawyer anymore.
Mariners,
he's not that educated.
Kraken.
Kidding, George.
Come on. Figure it out.
You want another conspiracy theory? I got a conspiracy theory.
Let's do it.
And I think Aaron Rodgers was involved, so this one might have been Awashkushka fueled, but there is something to it. Talking about when they released the logo for the Super Bowl, they say it's like, that's who they've scripted the people in the Super Bowl to be, because 3 years ago when the Bengals and the Rams were in, the logo was red and orange. And then when the Eagles and the Chiefs were in, the logo was green and red. And this year it's kind of red and purple. So what they're saying is, okay. But see, these logos come out way before the playoffs are decided. So now they're saying, well, yeah, look at that. Red and purple, 49ers and Ravens. Huh?
It's coincidence.
That's a stretch.
It is sort of oddly color coordinated, though. But then again, there's a lot of red teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of green that wear orange. There's a lot of teams that wear yellow. There's a lot of teams that wear blue.
I love that based on this, the Seahawks will never be in the Super Bowl.
I was just thinking, just looking at that, I'm thinking, if it's the Niners and the Ravens, I can honestly say I probably won't watch that Super Bowl.
Really? Why?
I hate both those teams.
Why do you hate those teams?
Well, I hate Raven kids, so I don't like the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
And then the Niners,
right? And then the Niners are just a bunch of tools. I mean, so I honestly probably wouldn't watch it. It's probably one of those things where I just get drunk.
I would watch it to root on Arizona own Brock Purdy. That's what I'd watch it for.
I can't pull for them.
And I like Lamar Jackson.
I like him
I
too,
like,
but
I like Lamar, man.
because of Raven Kid, I can't pull for him, and the Niners, I just can't pull for. Period.
I can get past that. But see, here's the only other way this can color coordinate. If it's not the 49ers and the Ravens, the color coordination would be Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Ravens. Yeah, no. Atlanta Falcons versus Baltimore Ravens. Even more no. Minnesota Vikings versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Still no. Big no. 3% no. Minnesota Vikings versus Houston Texans. Absolutely 0% chance that happens. So,
and we would all cry if it did. There's no good form of that game happening.
Yeah,
that's a bad game.
This is a done deal on this one, as far as it not being those. So forget the color coordination thing.
Texans Vikings, if that's a week 6 game, you don't watch it. So why would you watch it at Super Bowl?
It's a true story. Fish Tank says purple on the logo must have been for the Viking. Oh my God, bad. Thank you, Fish Tank. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
2 yards should be just a nice, comfortable 9-iron for him. They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
What in? The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best teed up at the 2024 WM Phoenix Open presented by Taylor Morrison. February 5th through 11th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 31st. Great shopping, a giant crafts market, new shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merriment.
Non-stop feasting and more.
The Renaissance Festival is back.
Weekends now through March 31st. Discount tickets available at Bashes and Food City or ArizonaRenfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time. Like right now. Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I think we're going to do our picks in the next hour. I feel like there's all this screwing around. We're just not going to get to it.
I really don't want to pick them.
Yeah, I'm not really enthused about that either. You know, there's not
Not much.
Because the tap dance you have to do of who's starting, who's sitting. Okay, well, I know that McVay likes to sit his guys, so they're probably not playing. Like, I just don't
even when you know, then you're like, well, then I don't know how this crap version of this team matches up against their crap version of a team. I hate this. They need to do something to stop this sort of thing, but I don't know what.
And it's almost like adding an extra week of football just didn't help anything.
Right.
Can you even call it football when it's just a bunch of scrubs?
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple of games where people are trying, but like literally 2.
Just another face in the crowd says, hey, Ralph, what's nautical about Supersonics?
He's got the one team that doesn't have.
Well, yeah,
anything.
but
That's a fair question.
But
It is a fair question.
Yeah,
he's going to Draymond Green you, though. Ask that from across the street. Ralph
That's
doesn't
the
like
only
that
team that
question.
doesn't have that nautical feel to it. I'm sure
Donnie
there's a story behind it. I don't know.
thinks it would be the greatest Super Bowl ever. What we were saying earlier, Minnesota and anybody, I guess. T-Licious says, hey, those tools beat your team's ass, Ralph. So suck it and go Niners.
Those tools?
Yes, you said that the Niners are tools.
I just want the Niners to go to hell. I don't care. So.
Oh, so now you want them to go specifically to hell?
Yeah, I can't stand the Niners. I can't stand their fans. They're phony fans. And
so you want T-Licious to go to hell and his team?
I didn't say the people that pull for them. I said the
But he's
team
a fan.
itself. He's a fan. I didn't say the fans should go to hell. I just said the team.
Where should the fans go?
Probably they should just stay in San Francisco because that pretty much is hell.
Well, T-Licious is
I'm
here.
good with that. Well, he should probably move to San Francisco.
So the 49ers should go to hell and T-Licious should move to the Bay Area.
Correct.
How about this? Can we compromise?
Yes.
What if you said the 49ers should go to hell and T-Licious should spend a lot of time at the DMV?
Acceptable.
Yeah, there we go, T-Licious. I don't want to lose a listener. That's all. Fish Tank says, the only time I ever hate watch anything is when I watch myself eat 2 large pizzas by myself.
Gosh. Does he cry in the mirror too? I mean, come on.
How did you not cry eating those 2 large pizzas in the mirror? Oh, no. Just another face in the crowd says, actually, Ralph, I'm asking from a local watering hole, not across the street. Oh, yeah. Which one are you at? That's right. Where do you, he hangs out at a bar. Ralph, says George, none of the Seattle team names. None of the Seattle team names are real. They're not real things, except for the Mariners.
Supersonics, ironically, real.
Yeah, the supersonic jets.
Yeah. Boeing was working in the area.
That's why they did it, because of Boeing. Okay, that makes sense.
I thought they moved from someplace where they had Boeing or something.
And the Mariners is real. We all know what Mariners are. The Krakens is a mythical creature.
Yeah, it's not real, but
it's really mythical.
I like that name, actually. I think it's awesome.
I do too.
Ralph's, Randy's just a little salty about it. That's all. All right. Enough of talking about Seattle. We really just over our quota there, I think. Let's talk about one of Ralph's other teams. Now, before we do our picks, we'll talk a little bit about who's playing, who's not. But the Rams are going to play Puka Nacua until they say he does something special. And at first you're thinking, well, that's rude. Waiting around for a guy to do something special. But no, he only needs 29 yards to break the single season receiving yardage record for rookies. So you put him out there in the first quarter, you can sit him the rest of the game. Hell, you might even get that in one play.
Yeah.
Of course, there is a problem. Carson Wentz. That's a problem.
Yes.
Puka may need to be on the field the entire 4 quarters to get 29 yards from Carson Wentz.
But Puka might actually need to swap jerseys with Victor Wembanyama and have him out there and replace him, because Carson just airmails passes. It's unbelievable, honestly.
Maybe Stafford can come out for like a play or two.
How bad would it be? How bad would it be if Puka walks away from that game without his 29 yards?
So here's what you do with Carson: just bubble screens. We're not even trusting you to throw the ball downfield. Just throw it to him in the flat. We'll get the blocking scheme going. A couple of those probably gets you to 29.
Shovel pass.
Get him out of there.
They'll have to make a deal with the 49ers. Can you let us just have this one? Because we're just help Puka out. The rest of the game, do whatever you want. But how about just, stop him once he gets to, say, the 40? Because then that'll do it. Can we do that? Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Feel like Shanahan might do that. Or not. I don't know.
I don't think he's going to let him. No.
Kyle G is astonished and dismayed. He says, Jeffrey, how could you? How could you do it? Sending somebody to the DMV. That's cruel and unusual. Making Tenacious choose between San Francisco and what? That's like choosing between castration and disembowelment.
Wow.
T-Licious says, hey, as soon as I'm a millionaire, Ralph, then I'll move to San Francisco.
And you'll be able to get an apartment.
Yeah.
1 bedroom, 1 bath.
Studio. Megatron says they should sit him. Should have had it in 16 games. 17 games shouldn't count.
Now you got to try.
This is the new record, man. This is the new situation. But I understand. I hear you. Part of us old guys are going to be salty about it if they couldn't do it in 16 games. Shouldn't count. But new set records, man. New set of records. Fish Tank says, who are you taking for Rookie of the Year? Puka or Stroud? Wow. It's going to be Puka, I think. This is going to be one that's not going to be a quarterback. But CJ Stroud has done a great job. But I think Puka is just a step above as far as what he's been able to accomplish.
I think Stroud missed 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what puts Puka ahead for me.
Gotta be Puka.
You could average it out, though. You could average it out,
but just that Puka was available for every game. To me, like that, if that's the case, you're consistent and you're available.
Pretend Stroud played every game. Who do you think should win it?
If Stroud played every game at the level he was playing at, give it to Stroud, man. It's just harder for young quarterbacks to come in. So maybe I'm just having a quarterback bias.
If Houston makes the playoffs, I mean,
because just what we thought the Texans were going to be this year.
Just saying, yeah.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
We thought they'd probably win 2 games.
Yeah, we thought that they wouldn't even be close.
We thought they were going to be the Cardinals.
Yeah, they were supposed to be horrible.
Right.
Yeah, they just weren't. And part of that is CJ Stroud.
Boy, I tell you what, I would have a hard time not picking Puka for Rookie of the Year. I'd have a real hard time.
It would be tough for me too, but since Stroud missed those games, to me, it's like those are games that playing in the game would have affected the outcome, probably for the better for Houston.
Positional Rookies of the Year. Well, that means Stroud at quarterback, Puka at wide receiver, Bijan Robinson, I think, at running back, tight end, Laporta for Detroit.
Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
So maybe they should do positional. I don't know.
It makes the most sense, but they do offensive rookie and defensive rookie.
Who gets defensive? I'll tell you who should. Devin Witherspoon.
It would be surprising if he didn't.
I mean, he's Pro Bowler first year. I mean, the guy's amazing.
He's been
I think it's
between
him and Carter, isn't it?
Him, Carter. What's my guy's name in Houston? I'm blanking on edge rusher in Houston right now. But
Donnie
anyway,
says Jordan Addison, you clowns.
Jordan Addison's been really good, but no, man.
No, he's good, but no. Stroud wins, says Pickle D, if they beat the Colts this week.
Maybe.
I mean, if they get in the playoffs, I think
they have to give it to them. Yeah.
Interesting. I hope that doesn't happen. We'll do our picks here in the next hour. T-Licious says, that's why I visit California. I'll never live there. Well, there's many reasons beyond expensive. We just don't have time to get into all of them right now. If you're from California, you already know what I'm going to say. If you're not from California, just trust me, don't go there. Later, we can get more into it if you want. Big George says, meanwhile, all of Arizona sports names make perfect sense. Oh, George, could you just stop already?
Cardinals make a lot of sense.
Arizona Cardinals. I have actually seen a red cardinal in my backyard. That is true. I used to say the same thing all the time. Cardinals, I've never seen one. They don't live in Arizona. How can you keep the name Cardinals? It's stupid. And then I see one and I'm like, okay.
It's not like Arizona is known for a cardinal.
No, not known for it. No.
So it makes no
They
sense.
fly through.
Right.
Now and then. Phoenix Suns. Well, yeah,
Makes
Sun.
sense.
Diamondbacks.
Makes sense.
The Coyotes. Sure.
Makes sense.
Wildcats. No, they don't make sense. They suck. Lumberjacks. Well, Northern Arizona. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Artichokes. Well, they were grown for Scottsdale Community College. Sun Devils.
Sure.
Devils are real, man. Yeah. Okay. That works. Fish Tank's got the odds for the Rookie of the Year, and he says Stroud is minus 850 on FanDuel right now. He says, wow, Puka is 420, plus 420. Okay. I have my opinion, but my opinion probably does not match financially what is going to happen. So probably not going to bet on Puka, even though I think he should win. That's what I think. And I'm not hating on CJ Stroud just because he's in my division and I think the Texans should go to hell. I think that everybody in my division should go straight to hell, just like Ralph says. I mean, that's how you feel about the other teams in your division.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have seen 49er fans be obnoxious. Haven't really seen Texans fans be obnoxious, or Titans fans, or Jaguar fans be obnoxious.
They haven't been successful.
Yeah, right up until this year, Texans fans thought that they were going to have the worst team in football.
Colts have been
for like 5
successful.
years.
They're not obnoxious fans. Colts have won Super Bowls.
No, the only obnoxious Colts fan I know is you. So.
I'm not even obnoxious.
No, not at all.
I am very reasonable.
Let's ask the listener.
I mean, about the Colts, Jeffrey's pretty reasonable, man.
Let's ask the listener.
Well, there's the listeners going to say whatever, just to be obnoxious. But I think they'll back me up on this. I'm a self-hating Colts fan.
Self-hating.
I know. Don't need anybody.
You are a self-hating Colts fan.
I'm just realistic. That's all.
Well,
T-Licious says, Will Anderson, Keon.
That's the guy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. It's 2 hours down and 1 to go. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, Diamond Dave for Desert Wholesale Diamond. If the store has retail hours, the prices are higher. If it's prime retail space, the prices are higher. If they offer crazy financing, the prices are going to be higher. And if they don't design and manufacture their own jewelry, the prices are way higher. Look, if you want the lowest diamond prices in the world, there's only one by appointment office that's importing diamonds direct, manufacturing its own jewelry, and using my 4th generation connections to save you an insane amount of money. Yeah, you need an appointment. Yeah, we aren't open nights and weekends. No, we don't have interest-free financing for 12 months. What we do have is true wholesale prices on diamonds, and we're in a comfortable private office.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450, 480-397-2450, or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3,
2. What?
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow. Ralph was with us.
I'm still here.
Oh, I have your camera. I can't see it.
I'll get it back up.
All right.
Yeah, I heard that before. I know.
Promises, cowboy. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Getting ready to do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. And I'll tell you what, you guys got to keep on going because we do these picks all the way through the Super Bowl. Now, I think this is the last week for the weekly prize. But after that, is all about the standings. It's all about just math and trying to climb your way up and try to win a cash prize if you've been doing this all year long. So this week I just about predict there's going to be some movement on the top 10. Somebody's going to get it wrong, and it's probably going to be me. I'm in third place right now, but I bet because of all these people resting their real players, their good players, how can we stop that, by the way? How can you stop that? I know it's been happening forever, but is there a good way to stop this?
I don't think you can.
How are you going to tell a coach that I've got playoffs coming up and I don't want to risk any of my starters playing this game that for us, because we've already clinched, is meaningless? How do you? Well, why would you try to force somebody to do that?
Is there a way mathematically to make it where you have not decided the playoffs until a certain time?
I don't think so.
You see what I'm saying?
Because
we didn't have it. It's still not completely figured out.
It's not completely figured out for everyone.
But
there are teams that know they're out.
We should have ended the season last week.
We used to.
Did that used to work? Or they just
teams
rested them another week earlier?
Teams still did it, but when you add more games, then that means that you're getting a bigger quote unquote sample size. So people are figuring out much sooner, just a week sooner. Oh, we're in.
So, all right.
It's like you're not getting better football, which was the argument against expanding the season in the first place.
Yeah. Well, this sucks. The only interesting football is going to be the football that still matters. And I've tried to select that on the picks that we're actually going to do today. But let me get the text line all cleaned up real fast. Hefty Lefty says, well, Jeffrey, an in-season tournament, obviously. Stop it. Swave Dave says, didn't the Cardinals football team or originate in Chicago? How many Redbirds do you find there? Cardinals in Chicago? Boy, that's a good question for somebody
to originate there, right?
Yeah.
And then to St. Louis.
Presumably, there are Cardinals in Chicago. Somebody from Chicago tell us if you see Cardinals flying around up there. If not, then they really just meant the Catholics. Thundar, the San Barbarian, says, I think Ralph will agree with me that while there are a few obnoxious Diamondback fans out there, there is vastly outnumbered by legions of San Francisco Nats fans out there in the world. Wow, I like how you glossed right over the fact that Dodger fans are obnoxious.
It's interesting. I went to the San Francisco Nets.
Giants. Yeah.
Well, the Nets is their minor league team. That's what I meant. Okay.
Is it really?
There's a minor league team called the Nets. Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, the Giant fans are the worst. Absolute worst. I mean, by far.
Why?
Diamondback fans aren't bad at all.
I've never run into a Giant fan, to be honest.
Really?
What are they all obnoxious about?
Because of the run that they had, especially the run they had in the early 2010s and stuff, where they won 3 world titles. They became unbearable during that period of time. But now that they've kind of settled down, they're still kind of living back then. And we just hate them. So they hate us, we hate them. It's just a rivalry. It's a good old fashioned rivalry.
Who else do we know who lives in the past quite a bit?
Cowboy fans, Raider fans.
Ralph
never lives in the past.
Ralph.
My titles are current. I don't know what you're
Lakers. Don't even talk to me.
2020.
Don't even talk to me about that. George says Jeffrey's a realist when it comes to his Colts, and he's a perfect type of fan. He'll tell you when they suck, and he'll tell you when they're good. Colts fans overall are good people. I'm going to stop you there. I feel like a lot of Colts fans are racist bastards. There's a lot of racist bastards in Indiana. It's a very true story.
but not all, but outside
Why
of
do you
that,
say that?
Hmm?
Why do you say that?
Personal experience.
Okay.
Also knowing people who live there, and just I also read the news, so plenty of reasons to believe that. He says same with Cardinal fans, Seahawks, 49ers, Ram fans. Ram fans on the other hand, geez. 888-368-1580. Chosen One says Cardinals are prevalent in the Midwest. Okay, well that's where Chicago is, so that's where a Cardinal would be. Just Another Face in the crowd says, yes, there are Cardinals flying around in the Chicago area. Spend a little time in that part of the world. All right, that's cool. There. Verified. Can we move on now? I think it's time to move on. Let's just get the picks started, and then we can talk some more football towards the end if we can get through this. Let's do it. Let's do our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. We follow the pick order. And, of course, we do the games that are aired on the radio station first. The first one up is on Saturday at 2 p.m. It's the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think Lamar's playing, right? He's not playing.
No, they said he's sitting.
Who's his backup?
Tyler Huntley.
Oh, right. Huntley versus Small Hands, or is it somebody else? Is it Mason Rudolph? Pickens or Rudolph?
Probably Rudolph.
It's probably Rudolph, who played pretty well last week.
Yeah, he did.
See, here's the thing. You would think it'd be easy to say, well, even with the backup, Baltimore's a better team. They should win this thing, right? But then again, it's Mike Tomlin coaching the other team over there. And
they're
not out of the
trying
playoffs
to,
yet.
they're trying to get in.
yeah, they're playing for a reason. Wow. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the Ravens right now, unless you give me a compelling reason why I should go with the Steelers. Ralph?
I think you have to go with the Steelers for the reason we just said is they're still trying to play for something. The Ravens are playing just to not be hurt. This game means nothing to them.
The Baltimore defense might be starters, though.
But for maybe a quarter, this
not
game
for the
means
whole game.
nothing to these guys. This game means everything to Pittsburgh.
Do you think that there's everybody sitting that's a starter, though?
I think they'll
for
play a
Baltimore?
series or two, and then you won't see them ever again.
Okay.
It's like preseason, so you have to take the Steelers in this game.
Keon?
I agree. The Steelers have everything to play for. I think Tomlin does want to be in the playoffs. I mean, it's for him. He's not just coaching to coach. He's really trying to be in the playoffs with this team, even though he doesn't really have the quarterback to do it. That defense is beyond respectable. It's a good defense, and they do have weapons. So it's just sometimes Mason Rudolph throws it up there, and George Pickens brings it in. I mean, they can win this game, and they're not playing the best that Baltimore's giving.
Right.
Yeah, about that, though. Baltimore also prides itself in winning all of their preseason games. What makes you think they're not going to really come out and want to win this one?
For them, the winning the preseason games is about getting everybody fired up from the top of the roster to the bottom.
You don't think they want to be 14-3?
I think they do, but they're not playing their starters.
I don't think they care.
They've verified nobody on defense is a starter.
I'm sure some of them will be out there, but the guys that you think that are really good, Patrick Queen's not playing that whole game, I'm sure. Roquan Smith won't be playing that whole game. Kyle Hamilton's already dinged up, so they're probably not playing him. Those are their best defensive players.
And you got to give the backup guys a chance because you want to give them some time in case you need them if something happens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I might change my pick. You guys made a very convincing argument, but man, something about the Ravens, though, that does bother me a little bit.
Yeah, look, the Ravens are a competitive team. They like beating everybody. That's basically the thing that their whole mantra is about. But if you're not playing your starters on both sides of the ball for the entire game, and the other team will be, and they're above 500, it's not like we're talking about a 3-and-something Steelers team.
Right.
So I'll go with the Steelers.
Hefty Lefty says if the Ravens can stop the Steelers from going to the playoffs, the guys out there are going to go very hard. Just Another Face in the crowd says Steelers beat the Ravens earlier in the season. Yeah, my Colts beat the Steelers. That means the Colts are better than the Ravens. Speaking of the Colts, they are at home, and this is a playoff game, and everybody on deck for the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. All right, I'll start with you, Keon, so we'll get some reasonable analysis before Ralph hates on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I this is one of the few games I think we'll actually be able to honestly assess it because of everybody actually having the ability to make the playoffs.
It's a real game.
Yeah, it's a real one of the few actual games we've got going on this weekend. And I am leaning towards Houston. I think that having CJ Stroud being fresh, coming back off of the concussion protocol, and he showed last week what he can do.
Our defense is okay.
Your pass
It's
defense,
pretty okay.
Your pass defense is okay. Your running defense is actually 27th in the league. It's
Who,
not.
who do they have to run the ball for the Texans?
Let's see. The Texans.
Zach Moss.
We can get that's on my team.
Yeah,
we get to the
Singletary.
quarterback every now and then.
Singletary and Pierce.
Yeah, Devin Singletary is probably the main ball carrier there. He's pretty.
I'm not
He's
that
pretty
worried about
solid.
it.
When you're 27th, you might be. He doesn't have to be, Brees Hall to be the defense.
He might look
that.
like
And
Brees Hall.
when you look at the Colts, they've given up a lot of points. Like that, how they've been winning games is Shane Steichen is a fantastic play caller,
Well, he's still going to be this weekend.
Yeah, but you're just going up against a better Texans defense, and the fact that a Texans offense that's going to be able to, keep pace with them. I'm leaning towards the Texans. It's not going to be a blowout. It'll be a good game.
Well, we're better than the Ravens, and we're better than the Seahawks by the same logic. Ralph, who do you got on this game?
I mean, I think Vegas tells you everything you need to know about this game, right? It's a Colts home game, and they're not favored.
I don't like to listen to Vegas,
but I do because they're usually right.
Shut up.
And just by nature, a home team gets 3 points, and they're a +1. So that's you're looking at them losing by 4, is the way I read that. So I agree with everything Keon said. I think the Texans are a better team. I like the way Stroud plays and him back and fresh. I think they beat the Colts. I think it's a close game though, but I think they beat the Colts.
I'm picking the Texans too. I
all that.
Honestly, yeah. I just wanted you guys to earn it, and
I don't mind that.
We've got some injuries that people aren't really talking much about. There's some our O line is a little bit dinged up, and Gardner Minshew's good for a turnover with a good O line. He's good for more turnovers with a dinged up O line. So yeah, I just this is not. I'm not trying to be self-hating Colts fan on this. I'm just looking at this, like you said, CJ Stroud, Texans defense. And, but yeah, hopefully they win. I'm hoping the Colts win. I'll be rooting them on, but my brain is telling me this will be the Texans. At 888-368-1580, the Jet, he just wants to make sure his texts are coming through because yesterday they were coming through in hieroglyphics. Yeah, I got you now, Jet. They're coming in today. He says, I'll make fun of Ralph if it is. If it is what? Oh,
What?
if it's working. Yes, it's working. Go right ahead.
It's working. Go for it.
Yeah. Just another face in the crowd says, I'm happy the Fanatic is airing the Steelers game because now I can listen at work. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. The Fanatic's airing that one. And if you're still at work at 6 p.m. when the Texans and the Colts play, you turn it over to Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM. There's also an app for them as well if you are listening on your phone, and you can listen there. So there you go. Thanks, Justin. Another face in the crowd. Next game up that is aired here on 1580 The Fanatic on Sunday morning. It's well, we lost a bet, and we got the Vikings at the Lions.
Oh, no.
So Detroit's going to play all their starters. Dan Campbell says, now we're just going to play the game. And good for you, Dan Campbell. Minnesota, they're going to play all their starters, but it's going to feel like they're not. Because they still don't have any sort of an actual quarterback.
Because Nick Mullins is playing quarterback.
Yeah. Well, he'll start the game. God knows who's going to finish the game. I'll tell you who's going to finish the game. I'll call it right now. Detroit Lions win that game easily. Ralph?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. This is a no-brainer pick. The Lions should destroy the Vikings.
Donnie would probably put himself in the no-brain category because he's always going to pick his Vikings. But how about you, Keith?
I heard Fran Tarkenton might come back for this game.
I mean, I don't even think he could save him, honestly. I mean, the way that this team scores, which is that they don't, it's brutal. It's rough. Nick Mullins is actually their best option at quarterback. He at least throws the ball downfield and he's not afraid to, but that doesn't change a whole lot. They're bad. I'm picking the Lions.
Remember when the Vikings were kind of good?
back when Kirk Cousins was still alive. Yeah.
Isn't that
I do-
weird?
I do remember.
The only difference between them being good and bad was Kirk Cousins.
I mean, he was playing amazing before he got hurt. He was playing the best football of his career before that injury. Yeah, makes a huge difference. Not having a quarterback in the NFL really sucks.
Huh. Hefty Lefty says, did the Jet have his text font changed to Wingdings yesterday? Yeah, that's what it looked like. It did look like that. The Jet says, hey, did Ralph ever tell you guys about the time he went to the bar and danced with that girl? What?
What was he talking about?
Chad, if you're going to make fun of somebody, make it funny. Wilbur says, wow, Keon just killed off Kirk Cousins' career right there.
He's gone too soon. What do you want from me?
Gone too soon. Sunday Night Football is at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday here on 1580 The Fanatic. Also, I believe a real game. Did we find out Tua's playing in this one, right?
Yeah, the Google told me Tua's playing right now because they could lose the division.
Okay.
They'd still be in the playoffs, but if they lose to the Bills, they'd lose that number one spot in the division.
Okay.
So yeah, there's still something to play for the Dolphins and the Bills.
Both teams have a reason to play their starters. Both teams have something to win and something to lose. So Keon, how do you see it? Josh Allen, I'll tell you what, the Bills and the Chiefs have sort of had that same kind of vibe all season long. You know, these are teams that should be doing great, but inexplicably you're kind of like, ugh, they just doesn't feel right. And Josh Allen and the Bills have not always felt right. Miami Dolphins, oh, they felt right. But here we are, both teams, they need this. So this is going to be a game both sides are really, really trying to win. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins. I thought in the first game that they played, Miami had a couple of fumbles in the first half, and then the game just got away from them, and they weren't able to get back into it. I don't know that that's going to happen this time around. I also like that the game for Miami is in Miami. You know, if you're going to play the Bills late in the season, play them at home. Play them when the sun's out and warm and the weather's nice. So that's also a thing. And then I just also think that just like you said, the Bills have felt off. I know that they're still a top 5 scoring offense, but the last, 5 weeks, they haven't really felt like it. They seem to struggle to get to wins. They struggled with the Patriots last week. I don't like that. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I just think that they're coming off of a humbling loss to the Ravens, and they're ready to bounce back and just win this division and get their playoff run going.
I think that Tyreek Hill is going to be playing like a man with his house on fire. But I don't think I don't know. I feel like this team is going to be a little bit off this week, and I feel like that Buffalo. I feel like Buffalo is going to win this one. I feel like Buffalo is going to get focused. I think Josh Allen and the Bills. This is it. This is everything right here and right now. The Dolphins will be fine. I maybe they don't have as much to lose here as the Bills. So I'm going to go with the Bills. Ralph?
You know, it's funny. Like Keon was saying, the Bills didn't feel right, but like 6 weeks ago, they started to figure it out. I think they've won 5 of their last 6 games.
Yeah, they have, and they've won 4
in a row. I mean, so I think they've figured it out. Have they been pretty all the time? No, but they're winning games, which they weren't doing earlier. And here we are now with them with a shot at winning the division, which people thought 6 weeks ago that wasn't going to happen. So, I mean, I think they've righted the ship. They have a chance at winning their 11th game of the year, which people wouldn't have thought that was going to happen. And I think the Bills are the team you don't want to play in the playoffs if you're in the AFC. They're that team that nobody wants to play because I think they're going to do some damage.
And the worst thing that could happen is the light switch comes back on for Josh Allen.
Right. And I think it's starting to. And I think as we hit the playoffs, it's going to really turn back on. So I'm taking Buffalo, and I think they take it to Miami in this game. I really do. And win the division.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll pick it right back up and talk about our games and some other good games. Not many. We're going to be done with the picks pretty damn quick this week because the rest is just a cluster F of sadness. Maybe we'll just fire through the really bad games with backup quarterbacks too, just for fun. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Take the guesswork out of your holiday gifts. OmahaSteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and save an additional $30 with promo code VSIN. OmahaSteaks.com.
Future bets for the NBA awards at the end of the season. Chet Holmgren of the Oklahoma City Thunder is the betting favorite to capture the Rookie of the Year. Holmgren is minus 250, while Victor Wembanyama, who is the overwhelming number one pick in June's draft, is at plus 150. For the MVP, Joel Embiid is currently the betting favorite, plus 210 for the Philadelphia 76ers center. Nikola Jokic, a two-time winner of the award, is at plus 270. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder is at plus 400 to win the MVP. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Brent, love the color. If you had to choose, would you watch paint dry or compare benefits plans?
Compare benefits plans, obviously.
But you know how complicated benefits are, right?
Well, I run payroll with Gusto. Gusto makes it easy to find benefits like medical, dental, and vision for my whole team.
Whoa. Oh, sorry. I'm going to need new glasses.
Don't worry, you're covered.
Choose benefits without the mess. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, Phoenix has had over 53 days of 110 degree plus this summer. This last July alone, we had 30 consecutive days of 110 plus. And this summer heat might just be the new normal for summers here in Arizona. What you need to do is call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins end-to-end.
Join the action this season and catch USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona when they come to Desert Financial Arena in the final year of the Pac-12 Conference.
Collins over to Lance for 3. Bullseye!
Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball. Onward to victory.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit talknowaz.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, a lot of us play fantasy football this time of year, and it's fun. But what you should be playing is fantasy electric bills. What's that? It's where you get with Harmon Solar, and they save you over 80% off your electric bill every month. Then, each time you open up that bill, you're going to feel like you just won a championship. Call Harmon Solar today. Get a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. We're doing our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks, and Fish Tank trying to talk us out of picking Miami. Ralph and I picked the Bills, but Keon picked the Dolphins. Fish Tank says the Dolphins are 1-10 in the last 11 matchups against the Bills. I already want to vomit, he says.
Yeah, but the last 10 matchups against the Bills haven't been this version of the Dolphins.
That's a good point.
So that's how I choose to judge that. There's a certain point where going back into the past, in my opinion, doesn't help. It doesn't give you any new information. It's because you're not comparing the same two teams at this point. This version of the Bills, this version of the Dolphins, who do I think is going to win? I think it's going to be the Dolphins this week.
So what version of the Washington Commandos in what universe is going to beat the Dallas Cowboys this week? Ralph?
No version.
You are correct.
They don't have a chance in hell to win this game. Nor would Keon want them to win this game because you want them to solidify their pick.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a better team going forward because they're going to lose this game. And they're going to
solidify the pick, say
Right.
goodbye to the coach, move on with your life.
Unlike what a certain Arizona team did last week, which made absolutely zero sense and just shows the stupidity of that organization. The Commanders are doing it right. I mean, they're going to get a good pick. They're going to get a quarterback out of this, and they'll get better because of it in the future. So you take the Cowboys all day long.
Is Ron Rivera done in the NFL as a head coach? Period.
Period. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I was watching him on the sideline, and he last week, and he was so disengaged.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Bieniemy was out there being the actual coach. He was the guy running out there, getting people together. Hey, let's do this. Ron was just staring off into space. Just his arms are crossed.
He knows.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
I mean, I don't necessarily blame him, but man, they're still giving you a check. I don't know. You can at least pretend.
What was his strong suit? What was his defense or offense?
Defense.
Do you think he'd show up somewhere as a coordinator? Because there's been a lot of coaches. We're like, oh my God, they'll never work in this town again. And then we look over like, holy crap, there they are, coordinating.
He might have to start at like linebackers and come back up because the way this defense functioned this season, it's a joke. You know, they're still the last defense in the league.
But I think if that was his sole focus, don't you think he'd be better?
Maybe, but you know, the fact that like it's last is, and you're the guy that had you were the person who has the final say on personnel. So you can't have the excuse of they didn't draft the guys you wanted. You hired the GM. So any decisions that got made after that were decisions you wanted for players, and you know, then you went and got Jack Del Rio, your buddy. You know, another guy who's got a pedigree as a great defensive coordinator.
Oh, he's done in this town too, probably.
Yeah, I think so. So no, I don't know that Ron Rivera's coming back as a coach.
Hopefully he's made enough money. You know,
he has made enough money. Yeah,
nice enough fella. You know, he was a player and he's a coach and he did all right sometimes. So, but here's the big question: is anybody on Dallas playing? Are they playing their starters or not? I don't think they are. Would they? Are they? Is Dak playing?
Yeah, I believe Dallas is.
Why
Are
would
they still
they do
playing
that?
for the division?
Yeah,
Between
but
them
the
and Philly?
Commandos, man.
Yeah, but you should still
Howell's
play your
playing.
players.
You got to win the game. I mean,
Yeah, so you know, play your starters. You don't have to play them the whole game. If you show up and blow them out the water in the first half, then you can bench everybody.
Yeah, I think we're all picking Dallas then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Keon. I know. I mean, it's.
I'm not
sorry. Not sorry. I get you.
Black Monday is about to be the happiest day of 2024 so far.
he's in
for
a good
me.
place. I think you're in a great place.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes you've got to let your team be bad.
Who
so
do you think
can,
your coach is going to be?
Oh, I have no clue. I do know that
Who
a
do
lot
you
of
want?
them. I like the
say
Lions
Harbaugh.
offensive coordinator Ben Johnson.
No, don't say Harbaugh.
I wasn't going to say that.
I think Harbaugh, because he's a prolific cheater, he should be with the Patriots. Makes the most sense that he takes over the Patriots if Bill leaves. If Bill leaves.
Raiders.
Why you keep saying Raiders?
Because I see him on the Raiders.
Well, we'll worry about that in the offseason, I guess. Let's get back to the picks. Your team and Randy's team. Unfortunately, Randy's not here to do his epic Cardinals pick. But I'll go first. The Seahawks are coming to town. Here's the thing: the Cardinals should lose the game. They should want to lose the game. But like you said, suddenly they're playing like they mean it, and they're at home. The Seattle Seahawks. How is Geno Smith? Is he healthy? Is he
fine.
back?
Yeah, he's fine.
Everybody healthy? Everybody good with the Seahawks?
Not everybody, no, but I mean, he's back, which is important. They still have Jordan Brooks is going to be out. Adams is on the IR, so no, they've got some issues.
I feel like this might be a high-scoring game because
I do too.
Your defense is not going to stop Kyler Murray, and the Cardinals' defense it might be better than your defense, though.
It's
I
not.
wouldn't go that far.
And see, the Commanders are last, and then right
We got
above
Buda
them,
Baker over there, you know.
the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, Buda Baker's just one guy though.
I'm going to pick the Seahawks, but I don't feel 1,000% confident about it. What do you say, Keon?
I feel more confident about it. I just the Cardinals look, they're playing their butts off, and they clearly are playing for Jonathan Gannon in a way that tells me that they probably hired the guy that resonates with that locker room. But the Seahawks are healthy offensively, and they have a whole lot to play for. So I'm gonna pick them to basically continue being the same team that they were.
Do you really want your team in the playoffs, Ralph?
No.
You kind of feel the same way I do, right?
Yeah,
About my Colts.
At the beginning of the year, it's been a disappointing season, obviously. I mean, this is a top 5 defense the first 5-6 weeks. They were 5th against the rush. They just look so good. The personnel's there.
What happened?
I think what's happened is Clint Hurt. I think he's a terrible defensive coordinator. His scheme doesn't work in Seattle. That team has got too much talent on that side of the ball to play as bad as they play on defense. And that's been the reason they are where they are right now. They should not be sitting in this position at all.
Isn't that like saying that everybody on the team forgot how to play?
Well,
and you're going to blame everything on the coordinator?
No, but if you look at the last 2 years, he's been the defensive coordinator for the last 2 years with the talent that's on that defense. They have underperformed dramatically.
Yeah,
it's been bad.
And you do blame the defensive coordinator because the players have to go out there and play. But if you call the wrong coverage to defend a play, like, if you know what a formation looks like, for instance, and hey, it looks like they might be running a cover 3 beater. If you have not coached your team to change out of a cover 3, right, you're getting scorched. Like that, how is that? To me, I've just never understood how that's not the defensive coordinator.
Well,
you're telling
you
the
guys
players what
played
they're
in junior high, high school, college, and into the NFL. There is at some point where you think, okay, these guys they should have a pretty good handle on what's happening. And then when you see the play developing in front of you, no matter what was just called, you should be able to adjust and do what you need to
But
do.
the thing
right?
is, if you make that adjustment, especially with some of these rules geared towards the offense, if you're even a step late, play's over. So no, it really the difference is a few seconds of
I
making
never
some of
played
these
defense,
adjustments.
so.
I mean, look at this stat, and this is what blows my mind. The 3 Seahawks that are in the Pro Bowl, they're all defensive guys. Wagner, Julian Love, and Witherspoon, all defensive guys. That defense is full of talent.
Julian Love is awesome. Yeah.
They look terrible. I mean, last week they couldn't stop my mom, who's been dead for 13 years, running the ball through that line. There's no way.
You have barrier with like sweatbands on her wrists. And
Yeah,
her
and she could
headband
have came out last, and she could have done it, just run right through them.
She's on the roster.
It's
so.
just they get constantly put in the wrong place at the wrong time. They look horrible. They give away 4, 5, 6 plays of 20 yards or more a game. It just shouldn't be happening. They're too talented. If they didn't have the talent, then I would say, yeah, it's not his fault. This is absolutely Clint Hurt's fault. He needs to be fired tomorrow, and I think he will be. There's a lot of talk about he's gone. I'm curious to see who they're going to bring. Hopefully somebody good, because they're just too talented. So it's been a very disappointing season because of that, because the offense is really good. But you know what? They can only do so much.
So we
But
all
against
we
the
all picked
Cardinals,
them?
though, they'll put up a lot of points.
Yeah, we all picked the Seahawks on this.
You have to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
They are playing for something. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. I really do hope Green Bay finds a way to win that game against Chicago. But
I just hope my wife's not listening. And I hope Randy's not listening, because nobody is picking the Arizona Cardinals on this game.
If you're the Cardinals, I understand the coaches and the players are going to obviously play for pride. But if you're Monty Austinfort, I can't imagine you're sitting there going, yeah, let's win 5 and not make the playoffs, but lose whatever spot we have to be able to draft a game-changing player.
Last week they played for their coach. That was a personal thing last week against the Eagles. You know that was. But it was the dumbest move in the world to win that game. That really was stupid.
Help me out.
Yeah, help you guys big time. It was just a bad move. But whatever.
All right, let's see. I've got a couple more games here. I have put notes by them. This one's the game. Is the Rams and the 49ers. It's Carson Wentz versus Sam Darnold.
Are you sure that's the laughter or the ow my eyes?
Oh, I will not watch it. I'm not watching this one.
Oh no.
Oof. Just it's like, if you do, you probably slow down so you can see better during when you drive by car accidents. This is that game. This is a car accident on the side of the road. I'm not rubbernecking. Maybe you will rubberneck. I know 49er fans are so excited to see Sam Darnold under center. And I'm sure the Rams fans just love the chance to see Carson Wentz for the first time this year start a game. I'll be honest. I don't know how to pick this game. 49ers, they ain't playing anybody that matters. It's not just the quarterback. It's everybody. The same thing with the Rams. I don't know how to just flip a coin and I chose the home team. That's all you can do. I got the 49ers and absolutely no good reason for it.
I mean, I took the Niners only because I prefer Sam Darnold over Carson Wentz, and that's not by much.
How many starters are going to be there for 49ers? How many starters are going to be for the Rams?
Almost none. I'm going with the Rams just because I think that they've got the record with Nakua to at least go for. That's it. That's the only.
You think 26 yards of offense is going to win the game?
In this game, it might. I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah,
look at it. I don't have any good reasons. None of my stats matter because those are for two different teams, and the teams will be watching on Sunday if, in fact, you choose to watch this car crash.
It's going to be such a bad game. I got the 49ers. Ralph got the 49ers. Keon's got the Rams. Okay.
I might flip-flop. I mean, who even knows?
So another game, Chicago Bears versus the Packers. Now, there has been some crap talk, which means Justin Fields will play the game. And I'm sure Jordan Love will play the game. If I'm not mistaken, there is some math that maybe gets the Green Bay in there or something.
Well,
Bears,
Green Bay, they control their own destiny, right?
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's going to be a real game. It's not going to be a real good game, but it's going to be a real game. But yeah, I guess Justin Fields was talking crap about, oh yeah, probably be a real good crowd there because there's absolutely nothing else to do that's interesting in Green Bay. He's not wrong.
He's right. That was funny.
But maybe don't say that right before you go play him. So
unless you're going to do something about it.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields on this. Again, I'm not sure why. I don't know. Maybe I should take the Packers. Maybe the Packers are a better team. And maybe the Packers have been playing better. Maybe Jordan Love has been playing better. You know what? I'm taking the Packers. How about you, Ralph? I'm changing this. I got to change this.
This is an interesting game for Justin Fields because he's actually been playing well. And I think he's got the Bears thinking about what they're
I'm
going to do.
going back and checking the Bears now. Thanks, Ralph.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's got them thinking, do they keep him or do they trade that pick and get a bunch more players?
Oh, so
the Bears have a tough decision to make now.
So Fields is probably playing for himself.
He's playing for himself. He's looked really actually pretty good last
year. So
is
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love has, but here's the difference in my opinion. The difference is that Bear defense against Jordan Love. I think that defense could give him fits and give him a really long day. The Bears have nothing to lose. They just don't want the Packers in the playoffs, and they want to go in there and ruin their year. And so I think the Bears are highly motivated to do that. Packers, I'm not taking anything away from them, but I think the Bears win this game. I really do. I don't want them to win. I want the Packers to win, but I think the Bears are going to win the game. So I'm taking the Bears.
Well, maybe I'll stick with the Bears. That's a pretty good argument there. Keon, you have an argument for the Packers?
I mean, yeah, there is an argument for the Packers, which is, what they're playing for. And, like you said, how good they have been lately, especially Jordan Love. Jordan Love's been incredibly solid lately. But the same could be said about Justin Fields. I'm leaning towards the Bears too. This is another one of those games where you look at the numbers and it doesn't really tell you the whole story. Like a lot of the defense numbers for the Bears, they're not ranked very high in a lot of things because of how many yards and points they were giving up at the start of the season. Then they made some trades, including getting Montez Sweat, who's been helping them get a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. And all of a sudden, it's a respectable defense, which, by the way, leads the league in interceptions with 22. I'm feeling Bears on this. And Justin Fields hasn't just looked good lately. He's been a little bit of the throw the team on my back and I'll carry you to the end if you guys aren't catching the football. That's how he's been lately. And that's a hard guy to root against right now.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep my Bears pick. Maybe I'll keep that. Is there any other games worth talking about? I'm looking at this sheet right here. Jacksonville and Tennessee. Jets in New England. Falcons and Saints.
Well, they're playing for something there. So
yeah, they're playing for something, but who gives a crap?
I guess I do think that the Saints defense is something I want to see if they can be consistent, because they looked good last week. They were physical and tough and all the things I think their defense is, but they have weeks where they're just completely not that. And also Derek Carr shaking off some injuries. He's looked better the second half of the year. So I'm a little more interested in that game, but
I picked the Saints, but I just don't. I'm not watching this garbage.
Right?
Yeah.
How about the Jacksonville's playing for a playoff spot, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's like we're not even sure if Tracy Lawrence is going to play. We don't know what's going on with Levis.
The last thing I read with Jacksonville was he was playing.
Yeah, my pick is on Jacksonville on that, but yeah.
And they could lose the division if the Colts win. So
I hope so.
They can't afford to, bench everybody.
Okay, good point. Good point. Carolina Panthers and Buccaneers. Ugh, nobody cares.
Buccaneers are playing for something, aren't they?
Well, just to not lose to the Panthers, if nothing else.
Division, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're 8-8. So.
Yeah, that's division.
Yeah, NFC South is on the line. That's the reason why the Saints game, the Saints will be trying, is because they're trying to win the NFC South. The Buccaneers, if I believe I have this right, if the Buccaneers lose and the Saints win the division.
Yeah.
The Eagles, are they playing Jalen Hurts or not? Because they're playing another crap team this week. They don't want to lose to two crap teams in a row. The Giants are at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I don't know.
They're playing for the division too, aren't they?
I don't know. They'll still just rest their guys since they know they've clinched the playoffs.
They haven't clinched the division, though, have they?
No.
So they're playing for a seeding.
I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, they should be playing for seeding, but Sirianni hasn't actually said whether or not everybody's playing or starting. So that's going to be one.
He'd be wiser to not.
I think he'd be wiser to not as well. But, it depends on how much they feel like battling for the seeding. I just can't imagine you'd risk Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and those guys just trying to get a little better seeding when having them healthy is what makes that playoff run actually
but
work.
it's a 3 seed versus being a 6 seed, isn't it? So it's a home game.
No.
You're playing for a home game.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs and the Chargers are playing each other. I know the Chiefs aren't starting their starters. The Chargers don't have any starters, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's Easton Stick.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Find the good games. Don't care about the bad games. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe get outside.
Come on, Jets New England. What a game.
Well, the thing with Jets New England is New England's beaten New York 15 straight times, and I think that Belichick still wants to.
No, but he has to lose this, or he loses his draft pick. Because he had 3 pick right now, right?
Belichick might not be there.
This is where you find out if he knows he's hired or fired for next season. If he wins this game, he's just doing it two birds in the air as he walks. You're right. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got On This Date in Big George's sports history and all you guys on the text line. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Hi, Diamond Dave for Desert Wholesale Diamond in Scottsdale. 33 years ago, I started a simple import and wholesale office. Why? Because my dad had a great offer to sell his 22-store chain to the big guys. And I wasn't going to stay on once I saw their crazy overhead and markups. Since we had the best diamond connections in the world, and at 26, I already had 13 years experience, I started at age 13 part-time for my dad and a GI certificate. I knew I could do better for my clients. Why does any of that matter to you? Because I'm the only guy with this kind of history, these kinds of diamond connections, in-house design and manufacturing that will sell directly to you at true wholesale prices. I know the insane markups of the big boxes, high-end stores, and mall jewelers, and I can offer you something different. By appointment, private diamond buying in our offices for less. A lot less.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave, KANTOR.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
James Linder here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's go ahead and clean up the old text line here before we get to on this date in Big George's sports history. Let's see here. Mr. Pink Eye says Ron Rivera will coach in the XFL. Well, there is no XFL anymore. It's the awful. I don't know. I guess I bet he would. Seems like it'd just be fun. Nobody takes that seriously, right? So he just stands there, kind of looks constipated every now and then through his his shaded his glasses, right?
I mean,
why not?
I don't see why not. I mean, Bob Stoops retired, and then he's coaching in this, and Bob Stoops,
Wade Phillips,
yeah, but specifically Bob, because Bob walked away because he wanted to have a work-life balance, and I'm sure he still does.
So yeah, I don't know if they'll want Rivera. That's the sad thing. If he goes, hey, I'd like a job, and the hello, click, hello. Big George says there was some weird music coming through there when you were doing your picks. Oh, that was Keon was playing the music there. It was not Keon Rose's NFL dance party. He just has different musical tastes than Randy. That's all.
Yeah, it's just some NFL music that was on Madden when I was growing up. So just threw that on there.
Oh, so that is NFL related, George.
Yeah.
The Jet says, oh boy. He says, what happened? The Rainy City Bitch Pigeons actually had to play some good teams, and their defense was proven to be crap. So he says it's really not about the coordinator. It's just your team is horrible.
Well, that's his ignorance, obviously.
I mean, I
gave you an honest assessment of my defense.
I can't speak for the Seahawks, but I know the Packers have a similar thing going on. I just think Joe Barry's a terrible defensive coordinator, and there'll be times where the Packers defense is playing well. They have a lead, and he's like, all right, cool. Prevent defense the rest of the game. And then but it's the second quarter. What are you doing?
Well, I can speak for the Seahawks when I say
I'm not.
Wow.
Oh,
is that what our coordinator sounds like?
That's what all Seahawks sound like.
I mean, we're so desperate right now. I think I would take Ron Rivera as our defensive coordinator.
Ouch.
That is desperation.
That's how desperate.
That is desperation.
Yeah.
That's what I just basically said just earlier.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
The Jet says, did you know there are 2 beef plants in Green Bay, Wisconsin? One is owned by American Foods. The other one's owned by JBS. Between the two of them, they employ about half the town. Yeah. What do you think Packer stood for? Wasn't fudge. It was beef.
You sure it wasn't fudge?
Not completely when Aaron Rodgers was there. 602 Pats fan says, I went to Green Bay last year for the Packers game, and Fields is not wrong. Oh yeah, we have no doubt. But you still don't want to tick people off there. Is there anybody from Green Bay listening who can tell us the hell there is to do other than go to a Packers game in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Our mutual new friend that Niho. He actually lived in Green Bay for quite a while.
Why don't you text him and ask him, the hell is there to do in Green Bay other than go to the Packers game? And he's probably going to come back and say, your mom. That's the only thing you can say to that. Moist one says, long day full of love and bears? Count me in. Not those kind of bears. Not that kind of love. Navy Devil says, how many starters can actually sit? There's only 47 players dressed, right?
Yeah, so you're going to have some starters playing.
You have 22 starters. Well, count the kicker and the punter. And
yeah, I mean, some guys in the special teams unit and all that. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, the guys who you need in the playoffs, they won't be playing.
Number one Rattlers fan says, terrible Happy New Year, gentlemen. Only 69 days until, well, I guess you're probably talking about the Arizona Rattlers playing their stuff, but why terrible Happy New Year? What happened? What's terrible? Hey, you know what's great about 2024? It's not 2023.
Amen.
Chosen One says, only other thing to do in Green Bay, drink heavily. Well, if you're already doing that, though, so, that's a given. Hamilton Porter says, I still want to know how the hell Green Bay got a pro sports team. Yeah, no doubt. Back in the day, Green Bay must have been even smaller. And yet there they are. One of the beginning teams back in the NFL, Lambeau Field and Lombardi and all that.
Yeah, but it wasn't about market size back then. Just wherever you could get people to get together and watch a football game.
So it wasn't about market size when Green Bay got there, and it wasn't about penis size when Ralph got his wife. See, this is a parallel I think that we should explore.
Wow.
I am not willing to talk about Ralph's penis. I'm all good.
Hey, we have time for a short conversation. So just a small
if I had a wide angle lens, I would show you.
Your wife standing there looking disappointed? Yeah, sure. She's right there. We just can't see without the wide angle lens.
This show is officially gone.
T-Licious says that Dentine chopping Ellen Doppelganger.
Dentine chopping.
I think he's talking about your coach in Seattle. Is as likable as Ralph. I like
How do you not
him.
like Pete Carroll?
I like Pete Carroll.
Great coach.
No problem with Pete Carroll. Wish I trusted the Cardinals to send them to the couch. Yeah, you can't, T-Licious. You can't. Let's get this going here before we forget. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history.
Back in the year 1957, back when they were likable, the Brooklyn Dodgers became the first team to purchase their own private aircraft for travel, when the team bought a 44-passenger Convair 442 engine airplane for $700,000. From 1949 to 1957, the team had flown in a 20-seat DC-3 aircraft, a gift from Bud Holman, who won the plane in a card game. Yeah, that's a true story. Yeah.
Back when they were likable. Such a George thing.
No, I threw that in. He didn't write that. I did.
I thought for sure that was George.
I just added that in on the fly right there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I said that yesterday. The Dodgers, back when they were in Brooklyn, I could have got behind them. I could probably get behind like the Mets. I hate the Dodgers. I don't hate the Dodgers. I hate the Yankees. The Dodgers are just annoying ever since they left New York. But I could have got behind the Dodgers when they were in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Anyway, so there you go. Thank you, George. Hamilton Porter says, Pete Carroll is great, except for the part where he left USC just as the hammer came down. That wasn't great.
That's called smart.
It's just, why would you stick around for that?
Yeah. But yeah, like Jim Harbaugh and old Bill Belichick.
And Pete Carroll's not the first guy to run away from college sanctions by hiding out in the NFL.
Hiding out in the NFL. That's funny. Moist One says, my penis might not be 12 inches, but it sure smells like a foot. Wait, what?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Huh. Oh, look, Neho is on. Your friend from Green Bay says, here's what you do in Green Bay besides the NFL. You work at a paper mill and or you drink. It's also a gateway for all the rich Chicagoans visiting Door County on vacation. The hell is Door County? What's in Door County that you could go there on vacation? I've never thought, hey, I got a vacation coming up. Wisconsin.
From what I understand, and I myself have not ever been, like lakefront stuff. So, cabins and
mosquitoes,
things like that. Well, you wouldn't really have
fat
Midwesterners.
Midwesterners.
What I'm hearing is you got a bunch of overweight drunks that live in Green Bay.
So there's nothing to do in Green Bay. So Neho has confirmed there's nothing to do at Green Bay while in town. Rico Suave says, go Cardinals. Booger Wolf says, there's nothing finer than a 49er. Let's go. Washington Commandos would get their butts handed to them by the CFL. Wow. All right.
Jeez.
Niho says, the thumb of Wisconsin is where Door County is.
The thumb.
Like close. I haven't looked at a map. I haven't looked at a map of it. It goes one way or the other, and I don't remember.
It's probably a fishing thing, I bet.
Is it a right or a left hand? I don't remember. Because I spent a year in St. Paul, Minneapolis, and I can't remember. Was that by the thumb or is the thumb on the other side? Boy, my geography.
My thumbs are never where they need to be. That's interesting.
Up your what? Yeah. Cardinals by 14, says Mr. Wilbur.
Again.
Injuries? Turnovers? What's that 14? I don't know what you're trying to say here. Points? Really? Cardinals will beat the Seahawks by 14 points? Oh, Wilbur. You can't see the forest through the trees, can you?
Oh, my
You just...
Gosh.
Good for you, though. No, good for you. Root that team on. And listen, who knows what's going to happen in that game? I will, because I'll be forced to watch it. Forced to watch it at White Point.
White Point.
Yeah. Even now, even with 12 losses, that game gets big screen status.
I think they'll turn it off by half.
I might be like, honey, please tell me you have something that you need me to do this weekend. Just give me the list, please. State Street Brought says all the fibs come to Wisconsin to spend their money and help the economy. I don't know what a fib is, but show's over, and that's not a fib. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage